21, so it's 98 points the margin. 97 points the margin at the moment between the Rovers and the Yarrawonga Pigeons in the reserves. Let's hope that it's not like that for the seniors, Gussie. I think it'll be a bit closer.
Some more around the grounds, please, Panda?
Yes, so obviously at the SCG at the moment, Richmond trail 23-48 against St Kilda. And can you believe it's cricket season up in the top end? Bangladesh have been dismissed for 426, and Australia trail on first innings by 228 runs. So you'd think Australia need to make a minimum of 400 to be in the game to try and win this particular test match against Bangladesh.
Certainly will, Panda. What are your thoughts on the Darwin Test, just while we're on it?
I like it. I think it should be a staple of the Aussie winter, summer, whatever you want to whatever you want to call it. So I like it. Why not play a game in the top end? It's sunny and warm there all year round. We know they've got a wet season, but I don't mind it, Gussie. It's a dry season at the moment, and they'll get full 5 days of cricket in.
That they certainly will. Panda, now tell us about this new segment that you guys have rolled out.
Blind rankings. So what we're going to do is you're going to come up with 5 players, and I'm going to rank them between 1 and 5 without knowing who the next player is.
Right.
So it's a very simple game. We've seen a lot of people, a lot of shows and stuff take this up over the last couple of weeks. So you, during the ad break, have written down 5 players.
Yep.
And now you are going to start them off, and I'm going to rank them, Gussie.
Righto, so here we go. I've done a theme of Yarrawonga and Rovers players.
Current players or past?
Playing today.
Right, I like it.
Playing today. Zach Fraser. Of course, the red-headed bombshell, small forward. He was meant to play interleague but got injured. We know this guy is an absolute star.
4
for Zach Fraser. Mitch Hardy from the Wangaratta Rovers.
1.
Mitch Hardy straight to 1.
Straight to 1. He had 56 disposals last week and kicked a goal.
Interesting. Sam Murray.
Well, he's not playing today.
Well, he was named. He was named.
Well, he has to go too.
Murray in it too. I tell you what, Panda.
He has to go too.
I've put you on the pump here. Willie Wheeler. Of course, Morris medal winner from the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
3.
Okay, Willie at 3. So you've got Zach Fraser at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because it means you're going to have Big Will Christie at number 5.
Yep. What we did last week, Gussie, was we were allowed 1 swap at the end of the blind rankings.
Well, it's a pretty obvious swap.
Will Christie goes to 4 and Zach Fraser goes to 5.
Okay, so
I'm happy with Hardy at 1.
You got Willie over Christie.
Well, he's a Morris medalist.
Yep.
He's in unbelievable form this year. Likewise, Will Christie. I think Willie Wheeler is a multiple Team of the Year player. Will Christie hasn't made it yet. So I'm happy with Willie Wheeler at 3 over Christie at 4 and Fraser, the young man, at number 5. But I'm happy also with Mitch Hardy at number 1. If we're basing it off this year, then he's probably the best player in the comp.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well. I think we're yet to see the best of him too. Is that a fair comment, Pan? Do you still think that Hardy's got another lever to pull? A finals lever to pull?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. What he did start doing at the start of this year, Gussie, in his first few games, was he hit the scoreboard. We've seen that just drop away a little bit over the last few weeks. He's getting high possession. We know he's had to go into the engine room a little bit with Sam Murray out. But I think a really good game for Mitch Hardy is probably 25 touches and 2 goals, where he's kicking multiple goals. So, look, I think he's got finals class and finals elevation to his game. But I tell you what, we're pretty picky. I mean, he's averaging 33 disposals, 8 score involvements, and he's kicked 17 goals for the year. So we're being a little bit picky, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a pretty good resume, my friend.
I think the Magpies wouldn't mind him across the road, Pan. Speaking of, the Magpies take on North Albury today. A few selection changes for there, which is going to make it very interesting for the Magpies in that encounter. Do you give North Albury a sniff?
A sniff, and that's probably about it. If you look at the Wangaratta Magpies outfit, I mean, their forward line. Yes, it's without Aidan Tilley and Xavier Laverty, but they still have a big bopper in Matty Hayden, and a few others that can roll through that forward mix. Jackson Clark, James McClurnan, has kicked 28 goals for the year. So I still think they'll have too much firepower, and there's too much on the line for the Wangaratta Magpies. They know that if they lower this game, they lower their colours in this game, and North Albury beat them, that effectively they probably give the Rovers back the minor premiership. So there's too much on the line, I think, for the Wangaratta Magpies. Yes, North Albury have been really good this year with what they've got, but I still think the Magpies should have too much class to beat the Hoppers today.
Very much so. What about the other games in the competition, Panda?
The Wodonga Bulldogs-Myrtleford game is the one we've all toyed with the most this week. If you're going on recent form, then I still think you probably have the Dogs ahead of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Yeah, they were really poor last week against the Yarrawonga Pigeons, but that was their first loss since round 10, where they lowered their colours to the Magpies and lost by 2 points. So they've effectively lost 2 games since round 5, have the Wodonga Bulldogs, where Myrtleford have been a little bit more up and down. But if you're going on basic scoring power, then the Myrtleford Alpine Saints should really reign supreme over the Wodonga Bulldogs. You know, Hudson Gronie's out. The last time they beat Myrtleford, Hudson Gronie kicked 6 goals up at the McNamara Reserve. Noah Spiteri was well held last week. So I think if you're going off scoring potential, then the Myrtleford Alpine Saints should be winning this game, but they don't play Martin Park well as a venue.
I think one of the things that I'm really intrigued to see how it plays out is Riley Smith's impact on the game today. He's been a bit down by his very high standards in the last month, but they've left Dry Gribben out of the lineup today, Panda, which suggests to me that either Riley Sharp is going to do a lot more rucking than what meets the eye, or Riley Smith's going in there in a genuine 1-2 swap with Sharpie.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch, isn't it? I'd love to see Riley just go, full big banana in the ruck. I'd love to see him take most of the hit-outs and completely dominate today over young Isaac Daly. And I'd love some of the other Myrtleford Alpine Saints forwards to get into form. Lockie Murphy-Dale has been out of form most of the year. He's nowhere near that Doug String winning player that he was in 2019. Cooper Thomason has just slowed a little since he's had a really hot start. Jack Truan's fallen away a little bit, so they need these guys to hit the scoreboard. Riley Sharp's kicked 8 goals in the last 2 weeks. He can't do too much more, but I think you will find Riley Sharp spend a little bit of time in the ruck for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints today, Gussie.
Yeah, I think so too. Panda, we're going to take our final break on pre-game. All thanks to JJ's Waste and Recycling. On the other side of the break, the bounce of the ball. It's the Rovers, second place in the ladder, 13-3, up against the Yarrawonga Pigeons, 10-6 in 5th. Both sides eyeing off some momentum coming into finals footy. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the Athlete's Foot.
Live on 102.1 Edge FM. It is the Rovers taking on the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Good afternoon to those joining us on Snap Print Solutions O&M TV. Great to have your company here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Yarrawonga and the Rovers are both on the field. And Panda, I reckon we've probably got the best day of football for the home and away season since the early stage of the year.
Absolutely. It is a beautiful day. And I tell you what, off the back of a pretty, I wouldn't say a divisive article during the week in the Border Mail, but it was a pretty interesting read around crowds in the Ovens and Murray, particularly the Ovens and Murray. We know that crowds are pretty strong in the TDFL and the Hume League with lots of grades of football, not necessarily the Ovens and King. I reckon we got a good crowd, a really solid crowd here at the WJ Finlay Oval today, Gussie. Most are situated on the broadcast side, the club room side in the sun, and they go from pretty much goalpost to goalpost. So a pretty solid crowd here today.
You do normally get a couple of spectators on the other side of the chicken wire, Panda, and it looks as if we might have one or two this afternoon that just put the deck chair up, the Danny deck chair on the other side of the ground and not pay their $15. I mean, times are tough. We're not that tough, Pandy.
No, absolutely. A couple of changes for the respective name sides. So for Yarrawonga, Will Reinhold has been called up to Carlton VFL today.
That's a big blow.
Which hurts. Ollie Watson has gone into the lineup for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And the gun, the superstar, the coach of the Rovers, Sam Murray, was named but was never going to play. He's given himself another week to get that hamstring right. So into that lineup is Brodie Paul from the reserve. So two late changes for the respective sides. That's off the back of the Wangaratta Rovers making 4 changes during the week. Back into the lineup, Ed Damon, Noah Schulte and Kieran Parnell. Out Sam Nolan, Harry Nolan, Cormac McNamara, and of course Brodie Paul was that out, but he is now back in the lineup. So effectively now 3 changes for the Rovers. For Yarrawonga, Henley in, young Lewis Henley, Michael Gibbons and Cooper Webster alongside the late in Ollie Watson. Out Will Reinhold, out today. Dan Howe with a nasty injury during the week. We won't see him for the rest of the home and away season nor finals. Lockie Howe and Brad Ryan, who completely destroyed and blanketed Noah Spiteri, is now out for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
Yeah, so Yarrawonga, Panda, are up against it this season. They were up against it last year when it comes to their injuries as well, but now they find themselves in a tricky predicament. No stats today on the 40-wing stat sheet, unfortunately, Panda, but how about some numbers for you, just to give you a bit of an understanding on where these two sides sit. Of course, for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, Panda, we want to keep an eye out on a few of their KPIs. We know that Jack Elliott has been one of the recruits of the competition. In 16 games, he's averaging 20 disposals in the top 5 for hitouts in the competition. Cam Wilson's hitting some form. You won't miss him, number 11 with a skin fade, averaging 22.5 possessions per game as well.
It's not a skin fade, Gussie. It's a no fade.
It's a skin.
It's skin.
Just skin on top. Michael Gibbons only played the 6 games, got through 4 of those, Panda. 14 disposals. Then keep an eye on Willie Wheeler. He is the barometer in the guts for the Pigeons with 26 disposals as his bare minimum.
They're 5th in the competition for centre clearances. They're 4th in the comp for inside 50s, 4th for marks inside 50s, and 4th for intercept marks. For the Wangaratta Rovers, of course, it's a no-brainer. Mitch Hardy, 33 disposals he is averaging. He's kicked 17 goals and he's coming off 56 disposals and 1 goal last week. Charlie Thompson is the number 1 contested player in the competition. He averages 33 touches, and Sam Catapan averages 26 touches in the engine room as well. They're 2nd for centre clearances in the competition of the Rovers, 2nd for inside 50s, 2nd for mark inside 50s, and 8th in the comp for intercept marks. Who wins today, Gussie, and why?
I'm going to go with the Pigeons, Panda, to suffer a loss to the Rovers. So the Rovers for mine.
The Rovers for mine as well, and we're underway here on a perfect day for football across the northeast on O&M Snapprint Solutions TV and, of course, 102.1 Edge FM for A-grade oils and batteries. And it's the first clearance to the way of the Yarrawonga Pigeons through Willie Wheeler. A dump ball lands just outside forward 50. Jake supplies a tackle on Charles Ledger. Will have a ball up on the edge of 50.
So really, I suppose the telling sign for Yarrawonga is their clearance game. They're going to want to really get on top of that element of the game early today, Panda.
There's Willie Wheeler with a fend-off, tumbling little ball to about 30 from goal. McKenna trying to spin out of a Hardy tackle. No siree, holding the ball. Free kick to the Wangaratta Rovers, and Mitch Hardy deep in defence for the Wangaratta Rovers.
So Hardy, between centre half-back and full-back, goes wide to the co-captain in Allison, who's starting to regain his best form. Down the line to his partner in crime. It's going to be Tom Boyd on centre wing for the Rovers. So back into the side, Panda. Only played the 7 games this year as Boyd, and he's happy to retreat. He goes a fair way back, and he finds Kieran Parnell. Wants to open up the showground side of the WJ Finlay Oval. He goes wide to Smith, and Smith finds the right boot down the line. Intercept mark. He's going to come back pretty quickly. Finlay has got the ball 55 metres out from Yarrawonga goal. Sets sail to the top of the goal square, searching for Fraunfelder. Got a good piece of it. Fraser off the ground, right across the face of goal, and it's going to be a boundary throw in, Panda, deep into attack for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
So a good intercept mark out there on the far side, and they own the territory early. We've gone a minute and a half for Club Mulwala in the first quarter. No score on the Macca's scoreboard. Yarrawonga with a dangerous position here. Wilson out the back of the contest, swooped on the footy, tackled by Thompson. Ball up, 30 out from Yarrawonga goal. So the Rovers kicking to the bar reserve end. Yarrawonga kicking to the Evans Street end. Cokehill doing the rucking for Yarra inside 50. Damon is wrapped up. Lots of players around this Pilgussie. Only Will Christie is the only player in the Rovers half of the ground.
Tommy Gorman alongside him for company. Ball up deep into attack for the Pigeons here. Evans Street end of the ground. Harney got a handball towards grass. Absorbing the pressure was Willie Wheeler. Lockie McCartney applied a big, strong, crunching tackle, and we're going to ball the footy up. So a repeat stoppage game here is the flavour, and I reckon Yarrawonga are going to be slightly okay with this one. Jakes to his own advantage. Cam Wilson appeals for a high. Umpire says play on, and then breaking away is Catapan for the Rovers. He finds a player in Oscar Clellan, who's come into the lineup, Panda. He was named in 62, but he's wearing 42 this afternoon.
Better number, higher number for the young man.
Dylan Wilson, slightly forward of centre wing for the Rovers, peels one off inboard. Catapan's been mummified. We've only played 3 minutes, Panda. Inside 50, floater, wobbler, ordinary kick inside 50. But the mark has been taken, and it's in the hands of Noah Schulte.
Yeah, he just floated forward. He just got dangerous. I don't think there was anybody on him at all, but he floated into about that 30-metre region and took an uncontested mark in the end. So not sure who from Yarrawonga was tracking him back. We know he plays on a wing, but held his width beautifully, and he can line up directly in front. He should make no mistake here, Gussie.
We know what a vital role he plays, as Kyle Raven told us on pre-game. The Rovers love this kid. 25 metres out directly in front, and he's hit the stick, Panda. He's hit the stick. So a first minor score goes the way of the Rovers on the Macca's scoreboard. They lead 1 behind to Yarrawonga let to score. And that is all thanks to our good friends on O&M Live to A-grade oils and batteries.
And we're doing the stats, we're doing the boundary, we're doing the calling, we are doing everything. The only thing we aren't doing today is the camera work. That is Dougie Greshke up there on the balcony, one of the best in the business. Oh, dangerous kick from Urquhart, tried to peel one off in the middle of the ground. Fraser provides a bit of support, not a great ball drop, goes down the line looking for Finlay. Allison over this pill, he's tackled and sat on by Finlay, holding the ball.
Really good work here from the Yarrawonga forward to get on their bike nice and early. Creating space down the line, Panda, so Yarrawonga can play a fast breakaway.
Here's Elliott. He's going to pump this long. Where are the Flyers? Cokehill, 2 bites of the cherry. He's taken it.
I think the umpire's pointed the other way, Panda. I think he's going to... No, he's pointed the wrong way, the umpire, but it's going to go to Cokehill. And this is a player that you and I spoke about during the week. With no Lee Williams, with no Whooper Irvine, no Lockie Howe inside forward 50 today for Yarrawonga. We really need to see the best of Big Benny Cokehill.
He needs to kick multiple goals for the Yarrawonga Pigeons to win. He's only kicked 16 goals from the year from his 14 games. We know he's GWS VFL listed in the hub at Albury, the young boy from Rennie. So that's a good, strong, contested mark. He'll make purchase with the Sharon, probably 47 metres out, 45-degree angle. Look at that kick, Gussie. That is dead-eye Dick, straight through the middle And a fantastic start from Yarrawonga and Ben Cokill. 1 straight 6. The Rovers 1 behind. On the Macca's scoreboard, we have played 5 minutes for Club Mulwala opening term.
Really good start here from Yarrawonga. I know the adage of come to play is something that gets used in country football and AFL football at a regular level, but Yarrawonga have really brought the heat early on. They're playing a clear style of football that involves them hunting in numbers, creating a repeat stoppage game. I reckon the counter-attack with guys like Zach Fraser and so forth is going to be what the Pigeons are looking for this afternoon. Thanks to A-grade oils and batteries, the opening term on O&M Live, the Rovers and the Pigeons. Damon gets busy in the ruck. Back of the contest was Webster for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And the Rovers have got the ball on the edge of their attacking centre square. Will ball the football up.
Richard Ball, Kyle Stones and Jaden Taylor-Birkins are 3 umpires today, Gussie.
I will say the umpiring, since I've been back in Australia, Panda, has been at a very good level. Here's Zach Fraser. Got the ball on the scoreboard side, the showground side of the WJ Finlay Oval. Been a very good addition to the senior side across the last 2 years. Floats one down forward, finds that goal kicker in Benny Cogill. Too far to score, but he can kick this ball into a dangerous spot for the Pigeons. Evan Street End is where he goes, searching for Fraunfelder, who flew at ground level. Catapan onto Mitch Hardy, and the Rovers exit D50.
He's got a 1-on-2 out there on the far side, though. Booth made a good contest, got a little nifty handball away. Young Cooper Webster applying pressure for Yarrawonga. Over this pill is a Rover, and he's got to get rid of it. It's Alex McCarthy, the Rooster.
Now, we're not taking 40-wing stats today, Panda, but I do know that's the 3rd free kick to Yarrawonga for the quarter.
Yep, and a good, consistent call for holding the ball. And here's Ben Cogill. So a good, confident starter.
Talk about 40 wings for Benny Cogill.
Yeah, he's kicked, though, put his teammate under the pump in pain, who was beset upon straight away. But Cogill wins the footy back as the Rovers went forward. His kick is really wide. And Mitch Hardy allows this ball to trickle across the line, and it will be thrown back in 2 kicks away from the Yarrawonga goal. So we aren't taking inside 50s as well, Gussie, but Yarrawonga have owned the territory so far. We've played 7 minutes for Club Mulwala. They lead 1-1 to 1 behind.
We'll get some around the ground shortly, Panda. We know there's a few big games in the SSNA Ovens and Murray, the penultimate round of home and away football for 2026. Catapan has been everywhere for the Rovers, and as I said earlier, he's been mummified with the headband prior to the game. So an interesting stat, Panda. Let's go around the grounds on O&M Live, thanks to Everton Farm Supplies.
The Raiders 6, Albury 6. Myrtleford 7, lead Wodonga 1. Lavington 6, lead Corowa 0. And the Magpies 2, lead North Albury 0.
Slightly in favour of centre wing for Yarrawonga as the Rovers hack the ball forward to centre half forward. Ball bounces backwards in the middle of the ground. Overrunning that one was Urquhart. Big pack of players as Urquhart gets boot to ball, brings it out towards the broadcast side wing. Inside 50 go Yarrawonga. Cogill was the target from Finlay's kick. McQuaid for the Rovers tracks this one back. He's got Kieran Parnell joining him in support. And they force another stoppage, Panda. I reckon that's going to be a theme of Yarrawonga's game today. Stoppages in dangerous spots.
They're not a high-scoring side of Yarrawonga, so on a perfect day for football, if they had to win this game, it's got to be a score of about 65-70. I reckon that could be a free kick against Ed Damon. He has just ran into Ben Cogill in that ruck contest, and he's been pinged for a block. And Ben Cogill will line up for his second goal in a very similar spot, maybe tighter angle, than his first goal he kicked at the 5th minute mark.
Well, hot start on the 40-wing stat sheet, Panda, of course. We don't have a stats man with us today, but I reckon he'd be down for 6 or 7 40-wings already. So he's running hot. He's Big Ben in a game he needs to shine.
If the siren sounded, Gussie, he would be our Rebel training player of the day, Ben Cogill. So a couple of metres in from the boundary. The drop punt was perfect for before. It's just a little narrow this time. And Yarrawonga go to 1-1-7. The Rovers 1 behind. We played 9 minutes in this opening quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. Gus McLeod and Blake Pandaresca with you, all thanks to the Premix King and, of course, the Wang Pump Shop here on O&M Live.
Well, if the Wang Pump Shop can pump a bit of juice into you and I, probably in the last quarter, Panda, we might need it this afternoon.
We'll be done.
We'll be absolutely cactus on O&M Live. 2-man call team this afternoon as Tom Boyd marks. His aerobic capacity is certainly a big strength, Tom Boyd. He covers the ground so well. His kick wasn't pretty, but it was effective. It found the intended target. Umpire's going to say play on here as the ball goes down the line from Del Zotto. Dangerous looking kick, and the umpire's going to cause a ball up on centre wing, Panda. So The Rovers uncharacteristically really struggling to exit D50 in the early stages of the opening term. We played 10 minutes thanks to Club Mulwala.
And Ben Cogill getting involved as well around the ground. So he just attended that ruck contest. The ball trickled over the line right in front of the scoreboard, showground side for a boundary throw-in. But he has started with some real confidence, has Ben Cogill. And as we spoke about, Gussie, if Yarrawonga are to win a final this year, it's going to have to be off the back of Benny Cogill. He can test that one there with Ed Damon. Getting pushed in the back was Hardy from Wilson. Umpire says play on, a ball up on true centre wing.
Just a matchup I've noticed, Panda, early on O&M Live, thanks to our good friends at Avis Wangaratta, is Jace McQuaid's got the matchup on Max Finlay. So I'm not sure if that's a mismatch or by design.
Because Jace McQuaid hasn't really been playing as an interceptor this year. Ball in a scrimmage out there on the far side. There's Timu Bailey-Smith. Jackson Horrigan applies a real strong tackle. Umpire says I'll have it again. So the ball has not moved. It's in about a 20-metre pocket of space. True centre wing in front of the scoreboard. Yarrawonga lead 1-1-7 to the Rovers. One behind. We've played 11 minutes opening term on the Macca scoreboard.
Hardy was dispossessed, but the umpires put the whistle away. Yarrawonga are making this a you-know-what fight, and Lee Williams is absolutely delighted with the way Yarrawonga have started the opening term. They lead 1-1-7 to the Rovers, just the one behind, thanks to Maccas. 11 minutes gone for Club Mulwala, opening term. Rovers at home to the Pigeons. Willie Wheeler with a searching handball. Ben Cogill, been busy, crunches the Rooster McCarthy, and will have another stoppage.
Same area, Gussie. The ball has not moved for the last minute.
So Sam Murray, we know he's a coach that can apply a strong message at the quarter-time breaks, and I think he'll be impacting the way the Rovers play after the first stoppage. Nice handball shoveled up there from Webster. Now the ball goes up towards half forward. Fraser searching for this one. Boyd for the Rovers. Gets it on to Turbo Allison, who switches across the face of goal. O'Brien's got some work to do. Got a good bounce and made the situation look a lot easier than what it was. Finds a runner in Del Zotto, whose kick was pretty ordinary. Booth running off the half-forward flank, gets the ball to Lockie O'Brien on centre wing. O'Brien inboard towards Damon, spills out the back. Lewis tracking this one, needs some support, not going to get it, so he paddles it to his own advantage. And in the end, takes the ball out of bounds on centre wing for a boundary throw-in. 1-1-7, the Yarrawonga Pigeons, the Rovers, just one behind. Panda, we played 12 and a half minutes on O&M Live thanks to Club Mulwala. I'll go around the grounds after this boundary throw-in.
Myrtleford lead 14 to Wodonga 1. Someone's got an annoying whistle that is in the vicinity, and it's annoying the crap out of me at the moment. Ball up in between wing and half forward here for the Wang Rovers. Have yet to, I think they've only registered one inside 50, and it was a Noah Schulte kick on goal, so haven't had the territory in their own half at all. Jaden Forge goes off the ground, down the wing. Bailey Fronfelder in the long sleeves on an 18-degree day. Interesting. Fraser kicks the ball just outside 50, and a good mark in defence for the Rovers by Charles Ledger, who's got the matchup on Charlie McKenna as the Rovers look to switch the football. They have it in the right back pocket with Jai Dalzotto. They trail 7-1. 15 minutes played, 13 minutes played rather for Club Mulwala.
Jackson East has kicked 1 goal, 2 Panda, so he must be playing forward. 2-2-14, the move at Alpine Saints to the Dogs, 2 behinds, and Lavington have jumped Corowa 13-0.
Hardy, good kick into a pocket of space as Lewis marks for the Wang Rovers. On true centre wing, edge of the square, he's called to play on, pinpoints one to Alex McCarthy, who can set sail here for the Rovers just outside 50.
Looks to be on a wing today and getting busy. Set sail to the hot spot. Nudged under the contest there was Christie. Yarrawonga clear defensive lines. They get it to half forward. Flying was Urquhart. He was crunched. Now Charlie Thompson looks to gather the football. Good tackle, I thought, by Harry Wheeler, but it's been paid and officiated as high, Panda.
They let them go sometimes. He did have his head over the footy, but that's a 50-50 call.
Thompson wants to play on, 60 metres from home, sends it searching for Damon and showing good strength over Tommy Gorman. Ed Damon's marked 10 metres off the boundary. I reckon 45 metres out from goal here, Panda. He's trying to improve his angle, but we know these are really tough pockets to kick from, hit the WJ Finlay Oval. They're very deep pockets.
If he can push forward today, that'll hurt Jack Elliott. So we know Jack Elliott is predominantly a ruckman that will stay in there most of the day. But if Ed Damon can push forward, that's where he might get on top in the ruck duel today.
He'll kick from 42 metres out, tight angle. It started on line. It's pushing across the face of goal. And it's going to be rushed through for a minor score. So the Rovers just 2 behinds. Yarrawonga Pigeons 1-1-7. All thanks to Macca's on O&M Live. A fairly uneventful first 15 minutes thanks to Club Mo Whaler. Panda, I reckon the inside 50s thanks to 40 Winks are fairly even at this stage of the game.
So the Rovers just still finding it a little hard to score here. We've played 15 minutes. We know they kicked a cricket score last week against the Raiders, but with all due respect to the Raiders, they're up against the harder opposition today as Archie Jakes goes down the wing with a kick out of mid-air. Lands in the lap of Fronfelder. He kicks to space in front of Maxi Finlay. Yarrawonga have really effectively moved the football just outside their attacking 50. It'll be thrown back in the far side of the ground. We've played 15 minutes. Just the one goal in this game in favour of the Pigeons, who enter this contest in 5th position. The Rovers are in 2nd.
I'll tell you what, Panda, low scoring is the theme of the round so far. The most any game's got is 2 goals.
Yarrawonga high up and under out of the stoppage. It'll land in the pocket. Gets out the back of the contest. Hourigan's there. Allison first on the scene for the Rovers. Goes by hand to Thompson, who runs and guns out of defence. Runs very far. Yarrawonga wanted a free kick, but it's a good kick to half forward. Christie marks on a searching lead.
Christie plays on one-on-one. Cleland and the Lizard Kings, and Cleland had better body line on the ball. He nudged the Lizard underneath it, and this is the Rovers' best shot on the big sticks. It comes via the inclusion. Oscar Cleland.
When you have time and space to get the ball quickly inside forward 50, Cleland was really the only target. He ran up the ground. It allowed good position for him to come back inside forward 50. The kick inside the attacking area was a good one, and just good early body work on the Lizard Kings.
So here's Cleland. This will be the best look on goal for the Rovers, and this to give him a 1-point lead. He's 25 metres out, directly in front, bar reserve end. Oscar steps up, and he's put it wide. Another minor score. We know that the Rovers, Panda, are their own worst enemy when it comes to inaccurate goal kicking and poor starts to game. It's a trait that Sam Murray and the Rovers must eliminate before September.
They kicked 5-10 against the Albury Tigers at this venue 2 weeks ago. So they haven't started strongly here. They're 3 behinds to Yarrawonga, 1-1-7.
Well, they're not as bad as the Magpies, who've kicked 4 behinds, Panda.
Against North Albury. Down the line, the Pigeons go.
4-0.
4-0, a good soccer score as the ball goes across the chalk for a boundary throw-in. Almost true centre wing. Club room side of the WJ Finlay Oval.
And around the grounds, Panda, Jed Snelling's got 2 for the Albury Tigers. They lead 2-14 to the Raiders, 1-1-7, thanks to Everton Farm Supplies.
Charlie Thompson, hand pass intercepted by Archie Jakes, who came off his line to impact for Yarrawonga. Thompson goes again. Clever little tap from Webster, but the Rovers swarm inside 50. Catapan's kick is marked down low by Damon. Front position, slid in low. I like the top-end cricket game at the moment in Darwin, and Ed Damon will line up for his second shot on goal, 45 out, 45-degree angle.
What
Gussie.
really impressed me the most about that bit of play from the Rovers is their small forwards left the space open. So all the Wangaratta Rovers on ball has had to do was kick the ball to the advantage in the space of Ed Damon, who could attack it unimpeded. A much better angle for Big Ed's second shot on goal.
30 hit-outs, 9 of those to advantage he's averaging, and the kick is gun barrel straight. Finally, one sails through the big sticks for the Wangaratta Rovers. They take the lead by 2 points, 1-3-9 to Yarrawonga, 1-1-7. And that first goal for the Rovers has come at the 18th minute mark for Club Mo Whaler on the Macca's scoreboard.
2-point buffer here to the Rovers on O&M Live. As you mentioned, Panda, 18 minutes for the Rovers to get their first major on the board. Yarrawonga won't be disappointed, but repeat entries for the Rovers seems to be what's earned them that goal there. Really big chance here for Yarrawonga to look to consolidate and make amends for that. So back in the middle of the ground, Elliott looking to wrestle with Christie. Christie won the tap down. Ball pinballs around in the centre circle. Elliott absorbed by a couple of Rovers, and we'll have another stoppage in the middle of the ground. And we might have an injury here, do we? No, Big Jack's a bit slow to get up.
He's a big boy, Gussie. Long way down for him.
Big battle in the engine room today. He found Harry Wheeler, fed the handball back, and that's a dump tackle from McCartney, and the umpire's seen it so. So the two-motion tackle is the issue. It was a fair tackle until he went the two-motioner. So Yarrawonga and Michael Gibbons want to rebound and go inside forward 50. Evans Street end for the Pigeons, flying. The back of the contest was Cogill.
That's there.
And might have been a little ear massage on the way through, Panda. Benny Cogill's going to have a shot from 40 directly in front.
So he is running and launching at the ball with confidence, is Benny Cogill. And that's a That's a hard task against the best stopper, like the best defensive stopper in Jace McQuaid. So a good run and jump, 2 hands to it, and McQuaid just came over the top, a little bit overzealous with a high free kick. So Benny Cokill is lining up. This is his third shot on goal, Gussie, in the opening 20 minutes. He's going for his second goal. So he is providing a real headache for the Wangaratta Rovers at the moment.
Great smarts from Gibbons too. Get it in quick. Don't let the Rovers set up behind the play. Here's Big Ben. He'll kick from 40 metres out, straight in front. Looks good off the boot. Big Ben likes it, and so do the Pigeons. They respond on O&M Live as they move to 2-1-13, and the Rovers 1-3-9. That's all on the Macca's scoreboard. 20 and a half minutes, thanks to Club Mulwala in the opening term.
So we spoke about it during the week. We said and we spoke about it just before. If Yarrawonga are to make something of this finals campaign, it's going to have to be off the back of Ben Cogill. He's come out in the first quarter. He's had 3 shots on goal. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 on the hardest defender in the competition, and is launching at the football with supreme confidence. So he has started like a house on fire here today.
And Tommy Boyd is lining up across the half-back line today, Panda.
Back in the middle, Yarrawonga with the instant reply. Catapan's hands were clean towards McCartney. Ripped off the football. Wheeler tackled straight away by McCartney.
One move I've noticed, Panda, is Ed Damon and Will Christie are genuinely waxing. 1-2 in the ruck alongside full forward.
Out of the stoppage, Charlie Thompson towards that position. Damon, early body work. Justin Lewis like a brilliant Rover swooping on the footy. He only had the goal face in himself. He could have ran into an open goal. He took a pot shot from 20 metres and hit the post. He needed more talk, more communication out there, Justin Lewis. He's got the speed, and he's blown a chance there for the Wang Rovers. They move to 1-4-10, Gussie, 2-1-13 on the Macca's scoreboard. We've gone 21 minutes.
That's a bad miss, Panda. Ed Damon did all the hard work to wrestle and bring the ball to the advantage of the Rovers Crummers. Justin Lewis would like his time again. Yarrawonga bring the ball down towards our broadcast position. Brodie Paul, the late inclusion with Sam Murray, not taking part of the game today, impacted the play. And Charlie Thompson's been busy on the 40-wing stat sheet early. Premier Data, they'll be keeping tabs on him.
So Justin Lewis is playing forward. We know he's been predominantly off half-back this year, Gussie.
Sitting behind the play here is Boyd. And the boundary line beats him to it, Panda. Let's go around the ground thanks to Everton Farm Supplies. We know there's plenty of live games in round 17 of the SSNA Ovens and Murray. What's happening, Panda?
So the Magpies 1-4-10 over North Albury, yet to score. Lavington have jumped Corowa 19-1, and Myrtleford are sending a statement right now. They lead Wodonga 29-2, 23 minutes into the first quarter.
Great tipping from myself, Panda. I've got the card so far.
You certainly do.
Here's Tom Boyd, who looks to be really starting to find his feet once again behind the footy, Panda.
That's not the matchup that Yarrawonga want. Tom Boyd on Bailey Frontfelder. He's got the height advantage. He's got the footy smarts, the interceptability. So they want to try and force a different matchup than that.
Hardy looks to switch the ball out wide, and it's a nice-looking ball to Noah Schulte on the edge of the centre square. Defensive side for the Rovers. They currently trail by 3 points on O&M Live. He kicks up towards the half-forward flank. Lewis with some pace. Gets in front of his opposition player in pain. Breaks away, but yet to regain the football. Yarrawonga mob up the crumbs. It's Cam Wilson. Looks to go long down the line with a high up and under. Gibbons fumbled across the boundary line. It's going to be a boundary throw-in on true centre wing. In front of the scoreboard here at the WJ Finlay Oval in the opening term, thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. Gus McLeod and Blake Panda Escott with you on 102.1 Edge FM. The Rovers and the Pigeons separated by 3 points.
Only the 2 goal kickers in this game. Multiple goals to Benny Cokill and the 1 goal to Ed Damon for the Wangaratta Rovers. Yarrawonga with a point to prove against the side that mauled them earlier in the year. Ball in a scrimmage out there on the far side. Wilson broke a tackle, and here come the Rovers running from the stoppage. Schulte can take a bounce, settle himself, going towards Ed Damon, resting forward in the pocket, but the kick had too much on it. Watson mops up here for Yarrawonga. Blake Keynes' dribbling little kick had too much on it for Justin Lewis. McCarthy reloads once again for the Rovers. Kicks to a 1-on-2. Wasn't a good kick. And Jordan Urquhart, who about 45 minutes ago was nursing his 5-month-old baby out the back of us here. Good pre-game routine. His kick was intercepted by Delzotto, though, who had Stewie Booth on his own in the goal square and missed him with a clean hand pass. Yarrawonga with the numbers in defence. Cleared long and high by Henley. It's a high up and under. It's punched over the line by 2 players, and Wangaratta Rovers will have it thrown back in, 50 around from their goal. They trail 13-10 for Maccas in the opening quarter.
Big Tommy Gorman's lost his boot Panda at the back of the play here, so he's desperately trying to get the ASIC back onto play. Elliott got it from the ruck and got boots the ball. Tom Boyd sits in the hole. Sells a bit of candy. I reckon Finlay's got him here. Boundary throw into decision, Panda. Good call, bad call?
Good call. He was across the line when the tackle was completed. Tommy Boyd just smiling back at the Yarrawonga fans right in front of us, who clearly wanted holding the ball, Gussie.
Boundary throw in front of our broadcast box. Fantastic vantage point as Damon just fumbled there when he had a big chance to impact the play. Allison behind the stoppage gets met here by Timu. Bailey Smith high up and under, going back courageously. Strong mark, Geordie Urquhart. What a 6 weeks this guy's having. To the runner, Wheeler. This is Harry. Breaks away, and he's got a runner on in a paddock of space. Michael Gibbons got a good bounce. Breaks away from Schulte. Shows class and poise to lob wedge one up to Bailey Fraunfelder, who got a bad bounce. So Parnell got busy for the Rovers. Impacted the play, and the siren sounds for quarter time here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Panda, it was fairly uneventful.
Yeah, it certainly was. Only the 3 goals, and you and I are polishing a bit of a you-know-what here. The 2-man call team today taking care of you on Edge FM and O&M Snapprint Solutions TV. The Rovers trailing 1-4-10 to 2-1-13. We'll take a break. Our quarter's best on the other side of this. It's O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Certainly are on 102.1 Edge FM and Snap Print Solutions O&M TV. It's quarter time here at the WJ Finlay Oval, and the Rovers, despite the fact they've had more scoring shots, trail this game of football. Yarrawonga, the visitors, 2-1-13, lead the Rovers 1-4-10 at the first break. Panda, let's get our quarter's best on O&M Live, thanks to the Premix King.
It was Benny Kogel. It couldn't be anybody else for Yarrawonga. He had 3 shots on goal in that first quarter, 2 goals, 1, running, launching at the football, working his way to the front of the contest. He was spectacular for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and that's the standard. Now, he's not going to do it every week, but forcing a contest, flying and jumping at the footy, that's the bar that he's got to set. I thought Harry Wheeler was pretty good in the engine room for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. While for the Wangaratta Rovers, a lot of that first chunk of the opening quarter was spent in their defensive 50. Tommy Boyd is going back to defence, trying to replicate that 2024 Team of the Year season. He was pretty good in the first quarter, and I thought Ed Damon, he's their only goal kicker for the Wangaratta Rovers, looked dangerous going forward, but also when he's in the ruck. It looks like both Ed Damon and Will Christie are waxing in the ruck. Gussie, let's go around the grounds if we can for Everton Farm Supplies. Quarter time in the other games of the Ovens and Murray.
Yeah, the Magpies doing enough over North Albury in a fairly ugly encounter. It's 1-10 at the minute. Lavington currently lead 19 to Corrigan 1. What about this one, Panda? Myrtleford 4-6-30 to the Bulldogs 1-2. 8.
Wow,
a few goal kickers in that game, Panda. Riley Sharp with 1, Cooper Thomason with 1, Riley Smith with 1, Jackson East with 1 as well. And then the other game, Panda, Albury versus the Raiders. A bit of a high scoring encounter. 8 goals in the opening term, Panda. 5-3-33. The Albury Tigers to the Raiders 3-1-19. 3 goals to Jed Snelling. What an impact that young player has at Tigerland. And of course, Panda, the other game that we're covering on today is our game. Yarrawonga versus the Rovers. We're at quarter time. It's 2-1-13 to 1-4-10. And here's the second term on O&M Live, thanks to Jacob Hino.
Gus McLeod and Blake Penderescott with you for the Wang Pump Shot. We're doing it all today like Hall and Oates, the best duo in local football, as Damon edges the football forward here for the Rovers. The left foot kick was a bullet from Gibbons down the line. Finlay comes up and meets the football, goes by hand to Mitchell. Good kick to Willie Wheeler, who can actually run inside forward 50 here and go all the way. He checks his kick at the last minute to young Jakes. Wrong side for a left footer. Likewise is Fraunfelder, who tries to do a 1-2 with young Jakes. The ball goes across the line. That kick from Willie Wheeler just needed an extra metre on it, Gussie, and Jakes would have been lining up in the pocket for a shot on goal.
One thing Yarrawonga have done, Panda, in both the opening term and the start of the second term is win the first clearance and get busy early on.
What a great throw in from the young boundary umpire. He is
better than half the old farts.
Absolutely. He is a young man. Look at this boundary throw in here on O&M Snap Print Solutions TV if you're watching at home. He will hoist it in beautifully. He's a young man. He wouldn't be much taller than 5 foot tall.
I don't reckon he's even eating solids yet.
Nope. He is a young man. Look at this boundary throw in. 50 out from the Yarrawonga Pigeons goal. Bang, that is a beauty. Elliott taps it down to Fraser. Goes by hand to Wheeler. Quick shot on goal from 30. Is out of bounds on the full. Does not trouble the scorers from Harry Wheeler. And we'll have a free kick to the Rovers deep in the left back pocket as Gus McLeod takes a drink. That's usually where the stats man or the boundary umpire jumps in.
I'm still finding the groove, Panda.
That's exactly what the 2-man call team does today. We don't have much support.
I think that's going to be the opportunities that Yarrawonga are going to need to capitalise on, Panda, as this game goes on. We're going to get a boundary throw-in on the showground side here of the WJ Finlay Oval. Yarrawonga, Panda, have clearly got a very meticulous game plan at the minute, but it's going to rely them to make the most of their opportunities. You mentioned the opening term. A score of about 60 to 70 might be where Yarrawonga need to get the game to win.
Absolutely. I mean, the Rovers haven't scored all that well in the last couple of weeks, so Yarrawonga aren't a high-scoring team as it is. So 60 or 70 will be enough for Yarrawonga to win today.
Thompson goes searching for Oscar Cleland, who got a bit of a mongrel bounce. Meeting him hot on his company was Lockie O'Brien, who brings on the left boot, centering ball towards the top of the 50-metre arc. Schulte onto Wilson. Good chance here for the Rovers. Wilson from downtown has put it to the left-hand side for a minor score. So whilst Yarrawonga are struggling to capitalise on their chances, the Rovers are in the same boat. 1-5-11 to 2-1-13. Yarrawonga with their noses in front for C&V Truck and Bus.
One positive which won't upset the Wang Rovers coaching staff all that much is they're getting shots and looks on goal. So if they're 3-3, all of a sudden it's all right. But it is a little concern. 1-5-11. The kick from Mitchell was partially smothered. It only just exits Yarrawonga's defensive area. Fraser tackled by Ed Damon. A battle of David and Goliath there. And a ball up outside the Rovers' attacking area. Elliott, bit of work to do. Little tap over the top towards Urquhart. Another stoppage. A metre out from the 50-metre arc from the Wang Rovers' goal. Kicking to the Evan Street end in this second quarter. The Pigeons kicking to the bar reserve end. Wheeler retreats about 15 metres inside his own D50. Payne's kick is a beauty down the line to McKenna. Who played on and went by hand to Fronfelder. And they've turned it over. He wasn't on the same page, Bailey Fronfelder. The Rovers go back the other way, and Catapan's hand pass was awful. Intercepted to Urquhart, and Yarrawonga pumped the ball down the line to space.
So a 3-on-1. The 3 should prevail here, but Bailey Fronfelder intervenes. He plied a tackle on Allison, and they get a stoppage on centre wing. So unforced errors, Panda, seem to be the theme here.
Yeah, Catapan hand passing to nobody, Urquhart going to nobody, and both teams blowing chances to alleviate a little bit of pressure.
Elliott in the ruck, but sharked there by Hardy, high up and under, searching for Cleland. Tommy Gorman's playing a little bit, I suppose, off his height, Panda. Tommy Gorman's only a big key tall, and Oscar Cleland's a mid-size, so an interesting match-up there. Another stoppage between the centre square and the 50-metre arc. Yep. Cross half forward for the Wangaratta Rovers. Willie Wheeler tackles Ed Damon. Umpire said no prior. And we'll have another stoppage in the exact same spot. 4.5 minutes gone for Club Mulwala here in the second term as Elliott just hacks the ball forward straight into Smith's hand for the Rovers. Bit of a 1-2 here. Hardy inside forward 50. Back of the contest. Gorman. I reckon he got dispossessed by his own teammate there, Panda. McCarthy head over the football, busting his way through into this play here is McMonagle, and the umpire says it's stoppage 35 metres out from goal.
Yeah, Gorman set himself the intercept mark, and Henley came over the top and poleaxed him, his own teammate. So not what you want there in defence. Gibbons tackled by 3 Rovers. Ball up, 40 out from Rover goal. They've only kicked the 1 goal in this game. We played 5 minutes into the second quarter for Jacob Hino. 13 plays 11. So a low-scoring encounter. Perfect conditions for footy. Catapan's hand pass to Hardy was beautiful. Hardy snap on goal. Could have almost gone through. Cleland socketed off mid-air. And it's across the face. Point-blank range off the side of the boot from Oscar Cleland. And it's a minor score to the Rovers. 1-6-12 to 2-1-13. Yarrawonga holding on to a 1-point advantage. The 6-minute mark for Club Mulwala, second term.
Yarrawonga from fullback. Willie Wheeler goes searching down the line. Nice work there from Jakes. Impacted the contest. Now it should sit here for Wilson. He's got a runner in Fraser alongside him. Paddles it out wide. Clever handball from Jakes. Here's Gibbons on centre wing. Gibbons with a searching handball in the Fraser direction. Allison lost his footing. Smith got him high. Umpire said play on. Cam Wilson bodylined the ball but left the Sharon behind. Now Ed Damon just throws on the boot and says, boys, get busy in the guts. Here's a go for the Lizard. Back across towards Henley. Henley breaks around onto the right. His kick was smothered off the boot. I tell you what, it's not pretty football here, Panda.
It's not. That was like slow motion from Big Henley. He was a big boy, and the connection from brain to foot wasn't all that quick. They go inside forward 50 here, Yarrawonga. Wilson's hand passes to space in favour of Bailey Fronfelder, who runs around on his left, snaps towards goal. Jakes his target down there. Parnell does well on defence for the Rovers. They're under the pump here, left back pocket. O'Brien's bullet-like kick out of defence is intercepted by Elliott, who reloads once again towards Yarrawonga goal. Over the head of Fronfelder. Fraser overran the football, and we will have a ball up, 25 out from Yarrawonga goal. Play the Benny Hill music, Gussie. We've gone 7 minutes for Club Mulwala. Yarrawonga 13, Rovers 12 on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Clearing And getting busy here is Mitch Hardy, who's racking up the 40 winks disposals today. Fresh off 54, was it, Panda? 56, if you don't mind. Dangerous turnover in the middle of the ground. Impacting the play here, that was clever from the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Big tackle on Keynes, gang tackle. Umpire said a holding the ball tackle in a dangerous spot.
As soon as you try and fend off or you break a tackle, there goes your advantage, Gussie.
Inside 50 goes Hardy, searching for Christie, and that's the best the Rovers have looked all day.
Space, the first time we've seen it inside 50, outside of Oscar Clellan's first shot in the first quarter there for Will Christie, who was resting forward. Hardy's kick was an absolute beauty. You could not ask for better delivery by a key forward from Mitch Hardy. So I feel like this is against the run of play at the moment. Yarrawonga have had the last couple of minutes, but the Rovers need to kick this for their own confidence here. 1-6-12 at the moment, Gussie.
Normally a good kick on goal is Big Will. 42 of them for the year, and I'm sorry. The commentator's curse. Panda, don't worry about updating the scoreboard. That's hit the behind post and won't challenge the scorers.
That is directly in front from a man who kicked 9 goals, 5 last week.
My services are available for a goal-kicking masterclass, if required. Here's Webster Panda in the back pocket for the Pigeons.
Yeah, had a bit of work to do, young Cooper Webster. His hand pass across goal is ordinary, and it's rush route from minor score. So it's fair to say this game has not reached too many Michelin stars currently. 13 apiece on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. 2-1 Yarrawonga, 1-7 the Wang Rovers. Harry Wheeler with the kicking duties for the Pigeons. Pumps it long down the showground side. Damon sets himself in front position. Drops the mark, and Wilson at ground level with a clearing hand pass to Elliott. In towards the middle of the WJ Finlay Oval. He goes. Good contest there from Ledger and also Fraunfelder. Socket off the ground by Jakes. Dribbles it about 15 metres out from Yarrawonga attacking 50. The ball then tracks back towards the middle of the WJ Finlay. Scrappy on ground level, but Hardy's clean. Dizzles and dazzles. Goes out wide. A good mark has been taken by Booth on true centre wing. So we've played 9 minutes in the second quarter, and we are yet to have a goal in the second versus fifth contest by any side in the second quarter.
Nothing to write home about this one so far, but it is close. And you just got a feeling Yarrawonga want the game to look like this. Now, Smith's kick is going to be another unforced error, out of bounds on the full, Panda. We're not taking the 40 winks today, but I reckon 7 or 8 per team.
Yep, absolutely. So Will Christie shot on goal out in the full, a couple in the first quarter, and that one then, here's Willie Wheeler.
Willie Wheeler coming down towards our broadcast position. He put Gibbons under the pump. Gibbo had to beat 3. In the end, did a good result to neutralise the play, Panda. We'll get around the grounds. I want to see what's happening in this Myrtleford game, Panda, because they are making a statement to the competition in their clash against the Bulldogs. What's happening at Martin Park?
6-3-39 to the Dogs, 1-2-8. So it's a 31-point advantage in favour of Myrtleford. Remember, if Myrtleford win that game, they jump Wodonga on percentage, and they're currently having a percentage booster.
All thanks to Everton Farm Supplies. Free kick here is going to go the way of the Pigeons. It's going to be Archie Jakes on centre wing.
Smooth mover, this man.
I
Gussie.
like this kick.
Yep.
I saw him kick 3 goals in the quarter against the Dogs in a narrow loss for the Pigeons. Now, that could be 50 if Ed's not careful. He plays it well.
Good
down
kick.
the line from Elliott. Great kick from the big man who's working in overdrive to Cam Wilson. 55 from home. Wilson runs in a bit of trouble, but he might go all the way. Fraunfelder searching for it. And once again, Kieran Parnell, he's worth his weight in gold inside D50. Gets the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 10 metres away from the behind post for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Speaking about the big names, Panda, Jack Elliott and Cam Wilson, etc. for the Pigeons. They're the ones that are going to have to get busy today.
Certainly are. The forwards just weren't on the same page as Cam Wilson. Then he played on too quick, and they'd already led. Good boundary throw from the young 5-footer again. The Rovers with quick hands. Hardy racking up the touches. Little 1-2 with Lockie O'Brien, and just went through the traffic like a former AFL player should. Thompson onto O'Brien. Links up with Thompson once again. All this happening at half-back for the Wang Rovers. Kick down the line. McCartney. Interesting handball inboard to Hardy, and now they can link up with their good ball users. Sweeping hand pass from O'Brien goes about 20 metres. It finds Parnell, edge of the square. Now we know this guy loves to run and dash and bounce. He does just that. Checks his kick at the last minute. A shallow entry inside 50. The hard-running Dalzotto got a bad bounce. Shovels it back to Booth, who sets sail for home. Ball's going to land at the top of the goal square. McCarthy, 2 hands to it. Yarrawonga, a bit of defensive work to do. and McKenna is happy to concede a minor score. The Rovers 1-8. Yes, 1 goal, 8-14, letting Yarrawonga 2-1-13 in a scrappy arm wrestle at the WJ Finlay Oval.
Credit where it's due. It's not been 9 shots on goal for the Rovers. I reckon 4 or 5 of these, Panda, have been rushed.
Yep.
So Yarrawonga making a good crack at this one this afternoon. Willie Wheeler was the target from his kick in from his brother at fullback, and a stoppage once again. So I reckon Lee Williams, Panda, after 12 minutes in the second term, thanks to CMV Truck and Bus, he'd be delighted with this style of play.
The only other close game at the moment is the Wangaratta Magpies game against North Albury. 11 playing 8, so another low-scoring game there at Button Park.
Damon onto Thompson, who showed good core strength to break out of a tackle, kicking the Rovers inside 50 with a narrow and shallow ball. Head over the football. Schulte, handballs towards grass, needs a crummer. In the crumming direction was Thompson, kicks it across the face of goal. Nice work there from Booth. Fed it onto Lockie McCartney, kick was smothered with the boot. In fact, it was Dalzotto. Christie gets busy. Now Yarrawonga have a chance to set up behind the play. Catapan heard the runner's voice. It's McMonigal, throws it on the boot. Top of the goal square. Ball still in play here, Panda. Dribbling on goal, Charlie Thompson. Well, it was one of the ugliest goals I've seen in Ovens and Murray football, but the most important word in that sentence, Panda, is goal.
Goal, and the first goal of the second quarter comes at the 14th minute mark by Charlie Thompson. And you're right, Gussie, there was a couple of smothers in that play. Dalzotto had a snap-on goal from 20 metres. That kick was smothered. Clellan's kick was smothered, and in the end, the ball just somehow found its way to Charlie Thompson, who had nobody on him at the top of the goal square, and he was able to run into an open goal. So after 13 minutes, we've finally got a goal in this second quarter. And after 13 minutes in the second quarter, the Rovers finally kicked their second. 2-8-20 to the Pigeons, 2-1-13. And on the balance of play, you have to say they deserve this lead. They lead by 7 points for CMV Truck and Bus. Here's Jaden Forge out of the middle. Good work. His kick is off the instep, though. It's a mongrel out wide, and the only player there first on the scene is Noah Schulte, who regains the footy for the Rovers, checks his kick. Good mark by Justin Lewis on a searching lead. His 2 kicks from home. He pumps it into the pocket, looking for Will Christie. Oh, Jukes. Jukes by Will Christie. When you put the arms up that high, it's hard to defend. And Will Christie has taken a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. 2 metres in from the boundary, 40 metres out.
Both sides look at their best when they get the ball inside 50 with pace and not allow the opposition to set up well behind the play. When Ed Damon's had his best chance to leap at the footy, it's come off the back of quick entries, and now Will Christie starting to get busy inside 50. All he had to do was continue momentum to the space of the ball, Panda, but a tough shot incoming here for Will.
So we know he kicked one out in the full from directly in front. He'll kick this, you watch. 2 metres in from the boundary. Will Christie, drop punt, just a little narrow for a minor score. The Rovers 2-9-21 to Yarrawonga 2-1-13. It's an 8-point advantage to the brown and gold at the 15th minute mark for Club Mulwala. Second term for the crew at Jacob Hino.
Now it's over to Yarrawonga to respond and try and get some scoreboard ascendancy. This guy was busy in the opening term. It's Ben Cogill, who marks behind centre wing for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Wouldn't mind seeing, Panda, a slightly different way of getting the ball inside 50 here for Yarra, just to mix things up a little bit. Down the line, Cam Wilson searching to run onto this ball at the back, but it goes towards the boundary line for a boundary throw, and we'll bring it back into play, slightly into attack on centre wing for Yarra.
Around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies, still a 3-point lead to the Wang Magpies. 2-5-17 to North Albury, 2-2-14. Lavington 33 over Corowa 8.
Damon took it from the ruck and got boot to ball, but went straight out of bounds. Deliberate as you like, but we don't pay the rules, so it's going to be another boundary throw in on centre wing.
Albury kicking away against the Raiders as well. 8-4-52 to the Raiders, 4-2-26, so it's a 26-point advantage, and it's still 3 goals to Jed Snelling for the Albury Tigers.
A season that has been a bit of a waste for the Albury Tigers. They'd be looking to finish on a high note and get a bit of revenge over the Raiders. Panda, another stoppage on centre wing. 21 playing 13 here, the Rovers in front. We've played 16.5 at Club Mulwala.
Still 1 goal in this second quarter to the way of Charlie Thompson, who kicked it at the 15th minute mark. We've only got 4 goals in this game. It is a perfect day for football.
Now, make no mistake, Panda, this is what Yarrawonga are looking to do. They're looking to make the game a scrappy contest. They feel that's their best option, in my opinion, of staying in this hunt.
Absolutely. We know they haven't been a high-scoring team at all in 2026. Only kicked 100 points against the Raiders on 2 occasions. Another stoppage, another ball up in between the centre square and the boundary line on the far wing, the Showgrounds side wing. Of course, the Rovers with a chance to jump the Wangaratta Magpies if they win today and the Magpies lose. They have to come the hard way otherwise. They go inside forward 50 with a floating ball. Oscar Cleland just applied enough pressure for a Yarrawonga Pigeon to drop the mark. His snap-on goal, though, to a vacant goal square is across the face. Yet another minor score and a chance going begging for the Rovers. Oscar Cleland's third behind of the day.
Correct.
2 goals, 10-22 to Yarrawonga, 2-1-13. It's a 9-point advantage on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Oh, dangerous kick in here. Here come the Rovers. McMonagle over the top, searching for Booth. Booth from point-blank range has put it wide again. Oh, my lordy me, Panda Escott. That is 2 goals, 11-23 to 2-1-13.
3 scoring shots to 13.
Yep, and that one was as easy as you'll get. He was 10 metres out in a slight angle, Stewie Booth.
And he's hit the post.
And he's hit the stick. No good. Deary me. Here come the Pigeons from full-back, and they're going to go long once again, Panda. They're not interested in hitting us short. They're going to try and find Henley, who come off the bench, brought it front and centre. Yarrawonga hacked the ball up to half forward. Paul got a bad bounce. Smith was there to mop up the crumbs. Onto the hard-running Thompson, who fumbled at the crucial moment. Nice tackle from Jakes. Yarrawonga moved the ball from the goal square to a stoppage on centre wing. They'll be happy with that.
Jakes was careful not to give away a high free kick then, because we saw one paid in the first quarter. Beautiful tap from Elliott onto Wheeler. Pops one over the top towards Jakes, who's been busy. Got a hand pass away as he was getting tackled. Fraser jumped on by a couple of Rovers. Ball up a metre or 2 in from the boundary at half forward here for Yarra on the club room side, just in front of our commentary position at the WJ Finlay Oval. Second term for Jacob Hino. 23 playing 13, and the Rovers are 2-11-23.
Charlie Thompson racking up the 40 wings disposals once again. Mitch Hardy playing on the ball as well. Both players almost notched up a ton in disposals last week.
99 between them. Why couldn't Charlie Thompson get 44 touches?
Yeah, come on, Charlie.
Mitch Hardy did his job, Gussie, with 56.
Hey, Charlie had 2 goals.
He did. Boundary throw in.
He looks gassed here, Panda.
He
Charlie
does.
Thompson needs to spell.
In the exact same position as the ball up. Christie doing the ruck work. Gibbons' kick was partially smothered. Only went as far as Lockie O'Brien. And he's applied a tackle. Another stoppage to the left of the point of the square. Half forward here for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. It's fair to say, Gussie, on the balance of play in the second quarter for Jacob Hino, they have not had too many inside 50s.
Elliott's been gallant in the ruck, and then he toe pokes that ball forward. Allison was there, took the mark, but the kick wasn't 15 metres, so we're going to have a tackle and a ball up 55 metres out from goal. Yarrawonga looking to get the ball forward in inches here, inch by inch, grit by grit. 20 minutes gone, and they trail by 10 points. Christie won the tap on that occasion. Thompson was there for the Rovers on the right boot, gaining valuable territory. The Lizard Keens impacted the play. Dylan Wilson tackled him immediately, and we'll have a stoppage on centre wing. And Max Finlay just says, hey, Lockie McCartney, get out of that play there, brother. I'm going to drag you by the scruff of the neck.
I like it. The boy from... He's a Barellan originally and then became a CSU Bush Pig. Will go around the grounds.
That's one of the great names for a football club, Panda. The Bush Pigs.
CSU Bush Pigs. How
the
good.
Bush Pigs.
Myrtleford 40, lead Wodonga 8. So a 32-point advantage in favour of Myrtleford. And North Albury have gained the lead over the Wang Magpies. 20-17 at Button Park. Michael Gibbons, high ball to half forward. Good hands again from Jakes in the congestion. Timu Bailey-Smith, Jackson Horrigan dropped the footy. Likewise, Jakes. All this happening just inside forward 50 for Yarrawonga. 15 players jump on the pill, and we'll have a ball up on the edge of the 50.
I'll tell you what, my man Timu, he's getting busy.
He is.
Horrigan, he just needs to create a contest and get scrappy, and he's playing his role.
Christie, beautiful little tap down to Catapan. McCarthy over the footy. Another stoppage right in between the 50 arc in the centre square.
So this is a really important stage here for Yarrawonga. They can't flood their forward line, Panda. They just need to make sure there's space. If the kicks in are coming quick, it's going to be a hack job if it does.
One-on-ones inside forward 50 for Yarrawonga, though, as the Rovers come up and meet the football. Here's McMonagle, and they are off to the races here. Schulte, beautiful little popping kick over the top to Cleland, who plays on from 45. Will this be a goal? Today it will. All thanks to Steelline. Quick play from Cleland. Oh, it's hit the post.
Oh, no.
It has hit the post. He was off celebrating, and the umpire had other ideas. It is a minor score. Groans go across the WJ Finlay Oval in the commentary box and at the venue. 2-12-24 to 2-1-13 at the 22nd minute mark for Club My Way. The 4 behinds for Oscar Cleland.
Well, you can't say he's not getting busy in the contest, Panda, and getting shots on goal. He's kicked 4 behinds, 3 in this term. That might be our best chance of a social media reel today, Panda, the behind that we thought was a goal.
Well, it was good, quick play from the Wang Rovers, and they did everything but kick that goal. Gussie?
You can't have a day as bad in front of the big sticks more than once than 2 goals, 12, Panda. So I think Sam Murray will be searching for the positives in this Rovers effort so far. Here's Finlay, chipping the ball out wide, finds the intended target. This is the part of the game. This is the kick here, Panda, for Yarrawonga that's crucial. I'd much rather see him go backwards here than bomb this down the line.
That's what they're going to do, though.
They're going to bomb it long down the line.
Yep.
That's what they're going to do, Panda. Searching to a 3-on-1. Flying at the back of the contest was Jakes, but Jakes McQuaid intercepts across half back. He feeds on via hands to Turbo Allison. Allison retreats all the way to full back. He's got the Morris medalist, Lockie O'Brien.
And he's going to go more direct to true centre half back. Good mark. He had to be strong in the contest, Christie. Opposition player was closing. He goes short to Parnell, who is laconic as you like. Goes short to Charles Ledger. At right half back, club room side. 24 plays 13. And it's not 3-6 for the Rovers or 4 straight. It is 2-12-24. They've had 14 shots on goal for 2 goals. Parnell on his own defensive goal square.
Just a quick around the grounds, Panda. North Albury hit the front against the Magpies. 3-2-20 to 2-5-17. Everton Farm Supplies.
They've switched the footy. Catapan now. Methodical build-up by the Rovers. And here they go. They can run and gun through a man that loves it. Parnell onto Lewis. Popping ball over the top to O'Brien. Got his hands free. His kick was smothered by not 1 but 2 Yarrawonga Pigeons. Lewis, bit of work to do inside the centre square. Wilson tackled by Payne at half forward. Ball up in between the square and the 50-metre arc. 24 plays 13. Late stages second quarter. We have only had 1 goal in this second term for Jacob Hino.
Yarrawonga would love one before the main break, particularly on the counter-attack. Pinballs around, another stoppage between the arc and the square, Panda.
You give up your Saturdays for this, mate.
On O&M Live, great to have your company on 102.1 Edge FM. Second term, thanks to Jacob Hino. Spare a thought for the blokes that have paid $15, Panda.
To get in. You and I got a free feed of lemon chicken beforehand.
Here's Finlay over the top, searching for a hand pass towards McKimmie. Works out okay for Yarrawonga. They get it to centre wing. Finlay, he's been Yarra's best for mine across 2 terms. Absorbs a lot of pressure and gets the Pigeons a stoppage on centre wing. I just reckon Yarrawonga need to get everyone up the ground here, Panda, and look to counter-attack, because the Rovers have got 3 on 5 behind the play here. We're getting around the ground shortly. We've got a hold in the ruck. It's going to go the way of the Rovers, Panda.
Myrtleford 41. The Dogs have kicked their second goal. They are 2-2-14. Corro have kicked the last 2 against Lavington. 3-2-20 to Lavington's 41.
Ed Damon for the Rovers kicks the ball up towards half forward. An absolute Barry Crocker off the boot. And a boundary throwing on the junction of the 50-metre arc and the boundary, Panda.
This is what you do. This is when you do a Dan Vaccaro. You get the KO up, you start watching the cricket, or Richmond versus St Kilda. I tell you, Australia are 2 for 40, trailing by 190 against Bangladesh.
I tell you what, I reckon Willie Wheeler can go and bat for Australia this afternoon. We could keep a batsman for Yarrawonga Mulwala in the summer.
Harry's also quite a handy cricketer. You know who was a gun cricketer for Yarrawonga? Matt Casey.
Matt Casey.
Yep, now playing for the Shep Swans, who are on top of the GVL.
And he's coming second in the GVL goal kicking as well. Probably says where the GV's at. Inside forward 50. Nice work here. Of course, Casey was the 3rd tall for the Pigeons. Good play. Anyway, that's half time, Panda.
I just had a text from Kyle Raven, who said full Freo versus Swan style here. And
he's meant to be coaching.
He is a coach of the Wangaratta Rovers, who I reckon is as frustrated in this game as you and I and all the viewers at home. So check your eyesight, but the Rovers are 2-12-24 at halftime to 2-1-13 in a picturesque, perfect day for football, sport, whatever you want to call it, here at the WJ Finlay Oval. 11-point advantage in favour of the Rovers. Stay with us. Our halftime show is for Maccas on the other side of this.
Or don't.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
grid shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Halftime show, all thanks to Macca's here on O&M Live, and it is a arm wrestle, it is fair to say. That is probably putting it a little lightly as the Wangaratta Rovers lead 2 goals, 12-24 over Yarrawonga, 2-1-13. That is right, 2-12-24 to the Yarrawonga Pigeons, 2-1-13 here on Edge FM and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. My name is Blake Pandarescott. Gus McLeod just about to make his way back into the box, but I tell you what, it hasn't been a pretty viewing here at the WJ Finlay Oval so far. The Rovers kicking 12 behinds and only 1 goal coming in that second quarter to the way of Charlie Thompson. On a perfect day for sport. You could not picture up a better day for sport. We have had 4 goals in an Ovens and Murray game of football. Gussie, we had a little laugh throughout the course of that second quarter, but dearie me, it has been a hard game to watch.
The scary part about this is, Panda, is I think Yarrawonga want it to be this way. Is that a fair call, or am I jumping to an assumption?
No, I think they come here today and they go, if you compare lineups and you compare class, clearly they don't want it to be a shootout because they probably won't have the opportunity to go with the Wangaratta Rovers. But to say this has been a grind, to say this has been an arm wrestle is a genuine understatement. So, yeah, a little concerning for the Rovers. So not for the second time this year we've seen them not be able to score. And yeah, they've slung-shot the footy a little bit off half-back, but they don't seem to be having too much space inside forward 50. Yeah, they've kicked 212, and a lot of those have been rush behinds, but they just don't seem to be on the same page, their midfield, the defence with their forwards at the moment. They've had one really good mark inside forward 50 with Will Christie. Outside of that, it's been just a little concerning. And we know they couldn't score the last time they were here against the Albury Tigers. You go back a week, the Wodonga Bulldogs kept them to 60 points. So clearly there is a little bit of work to do for the Wangaratta Rovers. But on the other foot, the Magpies have been held to 17 points at half-time against North Albury. Yeah. 2-5-17. So, strange round so far of football, I have to say.
You don't win flags, Panda, in round 17, round 18. It's important to save your best form for when it matters most in finals. Some positives to the Rovers is 2 goals, 12, Panda. Oscar Clellan could have an absolute day out so far. He probably should have at least 3 goals, 1, Panda, with the looks he's had on goals. Stewie Booth missed an easy opportunity. Will Christie, Panda, he's doing a decent enough job, but is struggling to convert in front of the big sticks. So I think for the Wangaratta Rovers, the message from Sam Murray is going to be, continue to keep doing what we're doing well, continue to create space inside forward 50, and continue to create shots on goal. 2 goals, 12 versus 2-1-13. I know which side of the camp I'd rather be on. It's the team that's had 14 scoring shots to 3, but converting them just seems to be the biggest problem here for the Rovers. I don't think it's throw the toys out of the cot just yet.
No, certainly not.
But I think it's at a stage, Penna, where I'd be a little bit concerned. And I know that Sam Murray is a progressive thinking, forward-thinking coach. He knows that what they're serving up today isn't going to stand up the first week in finals.
No, but he would be taking the positive lens. And we know he's a very positive guy. And they've had 14 shots on goal in a half, which is pretty good. You know, if they're 6-6, they're 42, and you take that. But they're 2-12. So he'd take the positive look at it that they've had 14 shots on goal. You know, they should be a few more goals. I mean, Christie kicked one out in the full directly in front. Oscar Clellan, although his shots have mainly been on the run, he had a set shot in the first quarter directly in front, missed that. Noah Schulte directly in front in the first quarter, missed that. So they have had set shots that have been super gettable, but they have had a couple of shots on the run. But I think both coaches, Gussie, will be taking real positives. So if you could have offered up an 11-point trailing margin at half-time to Lee Williams, he would have said, where do I sign? Especially with Will Reinhold being a laid out for Yarrawonga. So he'll be positive with the guys. Hey, we're in this. You know, we let it quarter time. Yes, the Rovers started to get the game on their own terms in the second quarter, but we're in this game. It's an arm wrestle. It's a game we want to see. Whereas, as I said, Sam Murray will be really positive that they've been able to have 14 shots on goal. In that second quarter, they kicked 1 goal, 8. So they've had 9 shots. So that'll be the positive from Sam Murray.
Yeah, I think a few of those were rushed as well. So let's give a little bit of credit to the Yarrawonga Pigeons, Panda. Some around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies here on the halftime show. The Bulldogs look to be working their way back into this game a little bit, Panda. The margin was looking fairly ugly, but the Dogs have kicked the last 3 goals. It's 4-3-27 to Myrtle at 5-12-42. So another team, Panda, that's really struggling to get some ascendancy when it comes to kicking goals and capitalising on their chances.
So Myrtleford in the second quarter kicked 1 goal, 6. They're 5 goals, 12. And Wodonga kicked 3 goals, 1 in that second quarter and took their chances. So the margin blew out to 32 points at one stage. It's now back to 15 at half-time between Wodonga and Myrtleford. And I can tell you that the North Albury Hoppers lead Wangaratta 3-20 to the Magpies 2-5-17. Tyson Young's been yellow carded in that game. So got a scoop from somebody at North Albury. Not sure what the incident was. Choco. This particular person didn't see it either. Just said that Tyson Young had been yellow carded. So we'll go back and watch the footage during the week on that one. So that'll have an impact in that game between North Albury and the Wang Magpies.
Now, Panda, we've got 2 goals. 2 goals here? 4 goals here.
Yep.
How many goals at the North Albury versus Wangaratta game? 5. Well, the Albury Tigers versus Raiders, they've got 20. It's 13-4-82, the Albury Tigers.
Can we call that?
Lead the Raiders. We'll jump in the car and get the final term. Panda goals for the Albury Tigers. Isaac Muller's got 1. Jesse Quaid's got 2. Ryan Garthwaite's got 2. Jimmy Cousins has got 1. Matt Bender's got 2 for the Albury Tigers. Hogan Quinn's kicked a goal. Jack Lipscomb's kicked a goal. And Jethro Snelling has 3. Whilst for the Raiders, goal kickers in that game, 2 to Ash Everett, 2 to Will Robertson, and 2 to James Georgalis, a single to Josh Perry. So the Raiders need to turn up and really have a boost in the final half of that game there. Panda, and the other games in the competition, looks as if Corowa have sprung back into gear a little bit. 6-5-41 the Panthers to the Roos 3-2-20 after they got jumped at quarter time.
Yeah, so Corowa kicked the last 3 goals of that game to bring the margin back to 21 points at half-time and a little bit of ascendancy and momentum going into the half-time break. So 41-20, Lavington lead Corowa at half-time. A cricket update around the grounds as well for Everton Farm Supplies. The Aussies are 2 for 50, and once again, it is up to Steve Smith. He is in at the moment, and Marnus Labuschagne is 20 not out at the moment. This is the biggest test innings of Marnus Labuschagne's career right now.
And it's in Darwin against Bangladesh.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought, Panda? Some Ovens and Kings scores for our listeners around the northeast and the border. North Wangaratta 69 to Gurumbat 50. Of course, the final round of Ovens and King football today, Panda. Yep. Greeta and Moyu only separated by the 1 point at the minute.
Who's in front there?
Greeta in front by a point over Moyu. So that's an interesting game, Panda, because Greeta will play finals football. They're locked in the 5th spot, and Moyu are currently in 3rd. So they'll be looking to claim a bit of a scalp in that one there, Panda. No other live scores. We might get some TDFL action where we can as well. Of course, the final round of footy in the Dunswin City Cranes TDFL. Panda, some updates for our listeners that are familiar with that competition. I think some of the scoring might have died. No, just come back into play. Kiwi Centre Creek 52 to Midda 20.
Rutherglen 41 over Thaguna 25. Tallangatta 64 leading Dedarang 10. Chilton need to win to secure their spot in finals, and they're doing that at the moment. Chilton lead 46 to 15 over the Nonga Saints, and Yak and Danda are giving Waganya a good old hiding. Likewise, Barnawatha over Beechworth.
We're not taking 40 winks this afternoon, Panda, but 2 players that I can tell you are getting plenty of the ball for the Wangaratta Rovers is Charlie Thompson and Mitch Hardy. The 2 guys that were the 1-2 punch in the engine room at the weekend are stepping up in the absence of Sam Murray in the guts. I just wonder how Charlie Thompson's tank is going, Panda. We saw him really
launches.
sucking in the big ones in front of our broadcast position halfway through the second term. The Rovers haven't really brought in additional midfielders, Panda, with the loss of Sam Murray. They've gone to, I suppose, the next best player into the side, but it means those guys are going to have to play some heavier minutes.
Absolutely. They certainly will, but they have some bigger worries in terms of forward of the football, how it looks. So they need to fix up some of these goal-kicking woes. But certainly, yeah, Charlie Thompson and Mitch Hardy have been the most progressive for the Wangaratta Rovers. The defence has been pretty solid as well. I mean, they've held Yarrawonga to 13 points and a half. So Jace McQuaid, looked a little bit all at sea in the first quarter with Ben Cokill. Certainly, winning that battle in the first quarter. He's evened up. Charles Ledger looks like he's really blanketed Charlie McKenna. Haven't
noticed McKenna much at all.
So Charles Ledger's done a good job there, and some of their other defenders, Kieran Parnell, showed a little bit of run and dash out of halfback as well. Gussie, we might take a break, I reckon.
We might take a break, Panda. A halftime show done and dusted on O&M Live, and the halftime show, Panda, is thanks to our fantastic friends at Macca's. Might get myself a double cheeseburger on the way home. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
WJ Finlay Oval on 102.1 Edge FM. Snap Print Solutions, O&M TV, Gus McLeod and Blake Panda Escott with you calling for the Wangaratta Pump Shop. And I tell you what, I've never seen a more enthused, a more excited, a more jubilant co-caller in my life. Blake Panda Escott is going to hit the ambience mic, which really will get his juices flowing on O&M Live, and he's going to call the pants off a big, big third term here on O&M Live. It's the Rovers in front, 2-12-24 to the Yarrawonga Pigeons, 2-1-13. A big, big second half coming your way on O&M Live. Here's the enthusiastic one, Blake Escott.
No, it's not the quarter-time score, it's the half-time score. And here's Harry Wheeler out of the middle again. Here we go. Yarrawonga with a big pump inside 50. McKenna sitting at the back of the contest. Got a hand pass away. Look towards goal. The Rovers clear with a dribbling one via Xavier Allison. Will the ball sit for Schulte? It will. High up and under out of defence to a one-on-one. Keynes against McMonigal. McMonigal does well with two Pigeons to beat. Keynes tackled immediately by McCarthy. And we'll have a ball up out on the far wing to the right of the scoreboard, which hasn't been turned over all that much today. Only behind to the Rovers. They are 2-12 at the half. Another stoppage in the same spot as the previous one. To the right of the scoreboard. Will we see a little bit of open play in this third quarter for Albury-Wodonga MG? Gibbons didn't take possession. He actually tapped it towards the boundary line. And we have another boundary throw-in out on the far side, on the showground side of the WJ Finlay Oval. Blake Panda Escott with you and Gus McLeod, all thanks to the Wang Pump Shop today. And we'll keep you updated with the score at Button Park between the Hoppers and the Magpies, because that game has a bearing on the contest here. We're going to assure you that. Thompson's kick out of the stoppage was smothered. Willie Wheeler got a little kick away, only as far as Joel Smith, who pumps it long with a torpedo punt to half forward.
That he does, Panda. That he does.
You're just sitting there back in your banana lounge.
I'm just sitting here going, I don't know how to summarise that bit of play because it's a free kick to Willie Wheeler. I cannot tell you what for.
You completely zoned out then, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were thinking about the Apco feed after this.
So I was thinking about going to see Mario for some more lemon chicken here on O&M Live. He's there, Damon. He's getting busy. Shakes and bakes on the right boot, long down the line. We're going to downfield here, Panda.
Yep. Just a little push.
And an advantage has been paid. The runner is McCarthy. Gets to 40, has a shot on the big sticks, and we buck the trend. We got a goal today on O&M Live. About bloody time, thanks to Steel Line, Panda. A much-needed goal for the Rovers.
Yeah, so a disappointing downfield free kick, and then the advantage was taken super quickly by the Rovers, and thank God that the Rooster McCarthy finished that. Only the third goal for the Wangaratta Rovers, only the fifth goal for the game, but Yarrawonga will be disappointed that they gave away a down-the-field free kick. And now you feel that margin at 17 points.
It's tricky.
It's just a tricky one for Yarrawonga, who have only had 3 shots on goal for the entire afternoon. So 15 scoring shots to 3, so it's a mauling in terms of the scoring shots, but just not on the scoreboard. Back in the middle, Elliott out the back towards Wilson. Good kick into the pocket, looking for Fraser. Ball just missed him. McKenna ran back into traffic and was tackled straight away by a Rover in Kieran Parnell. Ball up, 35 metres around from Yarrawonga goal. Kicking to the Evans Street end in this third quarter. A good crowd here, a really solid crowd at the WJ Finlay Oval. That was a hot topic during the week as the Rovers exit down the far wing. Schulte checks his kick looking towards McCarthy, the previous goal kicker, but Urquhart intercepts for Yarrawonga. His kick is a worm burner. It goes across the line for a boundary throw-in out on the far wing, the Showgrounds wing. Looks like the WJ Finlay in contention to host a final in season 2026. Likewise, the Wangaratta Magpies. Toss back into play. Coming through the contest was Wheeler. Left foot kick into the pocket, looking for Cogill. 2 to beat. Good fist over the top from Charles Ledger. And a little bit of territory here for Yarrawonga. It'll be thrown back in 5 metres around from their goal.
A-grade netball score, Panda. Lavington 33 and Kyra Rutherglen at 24. Big result here pending in the A-grade netball side of things. If Lavington win, they're still in the hunt for an A-grade finals berth. Boundary throw-in, deep into attack here. Yarrawonga must capitalise. Cogill got the ruck contest down there, and Turbo Allison applies a strong tackle. Haven't the Wheeler boys been gallant today in the guts for the Hoops? They've certainly put up an almighty fight. Damon just took it a bit too easily from the ruck contest, but his kick was smothered off the boot. Thompson clears defensive lines of the banana kick out towards grass, but it might come back in fairly quickly. Nice work from McKimmie. Handballing over the top, searching for a runner in Watson, who got bumped off the play. Now he's going to get another chance at this one, and taken across the chalk was Payne for a boundary throw-in, Panda. 60 metres out from goal for the Hoops.
So what can Yarrawonga make of this territory to start the third quarter? McCarthy kicked a goal for the Wang Rovers inside the first 90 seconds. The margin sits at 17 points, all thanks to Albridonga MG. Tackle by Thompson. It'll be balled up once again. Wheeler at the bottom of that pack. 2 kicks from Yarrawonga goal. It's a congested forward 50. Elliott, deft tap down to Wilson. His hand pass hit the knee of Thompson though. Stoppage here around the outskirts of the 50 for Yarrawonga. They jump on the Sharon. We'll have another ball up about 5 metres in from the boundary. Club room side of the WJ Finlay Oval. A lot of stoppages in this game. Perfect day for football. Couldn't ask for a better day as we have another one. It goes across the line for a boundary throw. We might go around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies whenever we can, Gus. Not putting you under the pump.
Nah, that's right, Panda. I'll step up for you. The one we want to keep tabs on is the North Albury versus Wangaratta game. A North Albury lead, 3-3-21 to 2-5-17. The Magpies.
And Tyson Young has been yellow carded in that game as Charlie Thompson goes down the wing. Front posse is Lewis. Is that a push, a 50 on Mitchell? It's not. Juzzy Lewis has options in the corridor. That's where he's going to go, and he turns it over almost. Just over the fingertips there of Wilson. Hardy at the back, goes by hand to Allison. Gets it back in a 1-2. Gets around a couple tackles. Goes back to Allison, who fires on goal. His kick is smothered. Yarrawonga, sigh of relief inside defensive 50 as all the players converge in the attacking 50 for the Rovers. It'll be balled up 40 out from the Rovers goal.
Everton Farm Supplies around the grounds, 48-27. Riley Sharp has just kicked his second major for the Tricolours, 40 metres out, slight angle, so went back and slotted that one.
Just to paint a picture for everybody at home, Gus has had enough of this game. He is watching the other game with the phone in front of him.
Got 4 quaddies going across the country as well. Please gamble responsibly. Inside attacking 50 are the Rovers. And the Pigeons are trying to get the ball out pretty quick. Willie Wheeler shovels a handball underground, but there was no one on the other end of it. Here's a shot on goal from Mitch Hardy. And Mitch won't trouble the scorers. So that one panned up. That's out of bounds on the full. So some around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies power. The reason we keep going around the ground is we're keeping tabs on games. They're going to impact what the ladder looks like at the back end of the season. North Albury on the verge of causing one of the great upsets. 21 playing 18 against the Wangaratta Magpies. Nothing to write home about that one. And it's a 20-point lead to Myrtleford over the Dogs. Of course, that one on Martin Park's Wodonga Bulldogs home ground.
17-point advantage to the way the Wang Rovers. Oh, good mark and leap out there on the far side. It wasn't paid in the end. I think he just dropped it, Coquille. Not happy as he gets up off his bum and runs back towards his own goal.
Got to find a way to get him busier, Panda. Had a really good first quarter. Kicked the 2 goals and haven't seen a heap of him since.
Boundary throw in. Still at half forward here for the Wang Rovers. Showground side. Damon possesses that footy out of the ruck contest. Outside of the boot, Nana towards half forward. Look at the players around this Sharon. There's 15 or 20. There's a hard possession in there. Hardy's hand pass just sails inside 50. McMonagle reaps the reward. Goes over the top to Stewie Booth, who snaps off a step to a vacant goal square, and it's there. Great finish from Stewie Booth. A beautiful shot on goal. A snap to a vacant goal square. And the Rovers extend the margin out to 23 points, all thanks to Harvey Norman.
Well, Panner, it's about time we had 2 Rovers goals in a quarter of football for the first time today. The Rovers kicked back-to-back goals, and as you called beautifully, thanks to the Wangaratta Pump Shop, a nice finish there from Stewie Booth. 4-12-36 place, 2-1-13. A much-needed goal there, Panda, on O&M Live. And Stewie Booth has shown glimpses, Panda, that he's still got something to offer this Wangaratta Rovers outfit, but struggled to kick some goals. So that'll do his confidence the world of good.
He's kicked now the 13 goals for the year, and we're back underway in the middle here thanks to Albury Wodonga MG. Gussie?
Pinballs around to the back of the contest. Nice work from Del Zotto onto the Rooster McCarthy.
Just watch Ed Damon is on his haunches, holding his left wrist once again in the middle of the ground. That is a big story, Gussie.
You keep tabs on that one. He's been good today in the ruck as well. He's forged, left the football behind. I reckon Ed's in a lot of trouble here.
He's in pain.
If I'm the Rovers, I'm just getting him off. Just get the man off. Now they go inside 50 to the home side to Christie on a searching lead. When they get the ball in quickly, Panna, they are very hard to stop. Will Christie, 35 metres out, slight angle.
So Ed Damon just tried to get up and run forward, and now he's just gone down on his haunches once again.
Talk us through the injury, Panna, because he does have a problem with his hand.
Yeah, so I think he broke a bone in his hand and missed a couple of weeks of football. He's now running to the benches, big Ed Damon. So they're going to get that looked at. But nonetheless, Will Christie is lining up for his first goal of the day. He's already had a couple of shots, but this would be 4 on the trot for the Rovers if he puts this through.
It'll make it hard for the Pigeons. Here's Big Will, bar reserve end, right foot kick. Big Will likes it off the boot. The Rovers, they're a new team after the half-time break, Panda. They move to 5-12-42. Yarrawonga 2-1-13. That's all on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
So that's what happens when you get a little bit of time and space to deliver inside forward 50, which we haven't seen at all over the course of the afternoon. So just like that, the Rovers have banged on 3 goals in 10 minutes of footy. So starting to get the game on their turns and dangerous times now for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They need to get the next goal and pretty quickly. Margin out to 29 points.
Around the grounds, Panna, Everton Farm Supplies. The big whale, the sperm whale, has kicked the goal for the Doggies. 48 plays 35, Myrtleford in front.
Getting busy here are the midfielders of the Wang Rovers. Here's Forge, definitely Zach, as he pumps it inside the attacking zone. Good mark by McQuaid, running back with courage. That was a diving mark against the run. A Mawson's concrete mark of the day. The Rovers chip it back inside their own defensive area. It's in the midst of Tom Boyd. He's got options down the line. He's going to pop this into a lead. Finds Parnell. Now they're outside the Darren defensive zone. Came down on the red eye last night. No doubt Kieran Parnell from Darwin. Much better weather up there, although we do have a beautiful day today.
Magnificent, Panda.
He 8-irons this down the line. Gorman has a run and fly, drops the mark, forge at ground level, goes by hand to Wilson. Yarrawonga win it back. Good save kick from Wilson. Finds Archie Jakes on true centre wing. He could have went to Horrigan, Timu Bailey-Smith. He didn't.
My man was on, Panda.
He was on, and Jakes is going to pop this up to half forward.
I think this is just playing into the Rovers' hands. Panda, the dump kick down the line. Here's Harry Wheeler, forced to go out of bounds because he had no one in front of him. Around the grounds, Everton Farm Supplies. Damien Mooney has had a strong start to the second half. He's kicked a goal, and the Hoppers lead 27-20, Panda. In one of the lower scoring encounters we've seen, 2-8 plays 4-3 on O&M Live. Boundary throw-in comes back into play. Christie in the ruck. Winning that one down was Cogill for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Thompson on the left foot, long down the line for the home side. Big sandwich collision coming into play there. And very keen to get back up and get amongst it is Michael Gibbons, who's starting to build some continuity, Panda, in this game. He looks to be the player we've come to love and see at O&M senior level. Here on O&M Live, we're playing 12.5 minutes for Club Mulwala. 42 plays 13. The Rovers in front of the Pigeons.
So Yarrawonga kicked 2 of the first 3 goals of this game. The Rovers have kicked 5 of the last 6 to grab a 29-point advantage. They go to half forward here, bouncing ball. Too much on it for Lockie McCartney. It exits the field of play. And we'll have a boundary throw in front of our commentary position around the grounds once again, Gussie. The scores are evening up at Martin Park.
Shootout, Panda. We've had 2 goals since we last gave you an update. 49 plays 41. Myrtleford in front at the 10-minute mark of the third.
Good boundary throw-in from the young man who's patrolling this whole area today. Here he is, our man Bailey-Smith. Just got a little kick away of a nick of time. Was going to get pinged holding the ball. He goes back into impact the contest here. Here is a good hand pass from Bailey Fronfelder, who has changed from the long sleeves to the short sleeves. In the half-time break is Basil.
Well, he mustn't have caught Carl Legenda's Friday weather report, Panda.
No.
22 and sunny was the forecast today in Wangaratta.
So a boundary throw in between the 2 benches here. Ed Damon waiting to come on.
Good signs.
Just hurt his wrist in that contest earlier. Grab a little kick. Oh, good mark from Jordan Urquhart. Mawson's concrete mark of the day. He's taken a couple of those today. Like something out wide. The ball just sits up and it allows a fist from Mitch Hardy across the line. His kick was looking for a teammate there at half forward to Mitchell. And it's a boundary throw in favouring Yarrawonga here. They trail 13-42 at the 14th minute mark in this third quarter for Albury MG.
In the derby, Panda, they sent Ed Damon back onto the ground after hurting his wrist. So it says to me the injury might just be a pain-related one that you can't do too much more damage to. Because
he's a tough bastard.
Well, he is that, and he played a grand final heavily hampered a few years back. And we're going to have a stoppage here, Panda, on the edge of the centre square. We'll leave a shout-out to the umpires. I think the game's been very well officiated today, Panda.
Spectacular game.
Richard Bull, Kyle Stones and Jaden Taylor Perkins, the men in green, as Cam Wilson gets the Pigeons up towards half-forward. Smith's been good across half-back. Impacted that one with a dinky ball. High up and under goes long down the line. McCartney in front of Keens. And Keens happy to see it across the chalk for a boundary throw-in, Panda.
Another goal to Wodonga. The margin is now back to 2 points. 7-5-47 Wodonga. Myrtleford 6-13-49. Of course, the Dogs win. They are in the third spot. Myrtleford win. They jump the Dogs on percentage.
Watch this space as Harry Wheeler gets wrapped up in a tackle. He looked to be off momentarily, but Xavier Allison absorbed him. We'll ball the footy up once again. Elliott doing some good ruck work. Won the tap, but Catapan sharked it. Gibbons tackled him quickly, and the kick went into the middle of the ground. And the Rovers running the pump here because Harry Wheeler's getting busy. On the right boot, kick smothered off the boot. Well done by the Rovers, and they run in numbers. Ball's in the hands of O'Brien. Kicks to half forward. Oh, Mawson's concrete. Mark of the day from Archie Jakes. An intercept mark, Panda, and he's going to switch the ball out to Webster.
He does. The young man who's played a number of Bushies games. Has the ball at left half-back, showground side. As an option wide and lateral, it's Josh Payne, the boy from Strathmerton. You know where that is, Gussie?
Over near Yarrawonga, Shepparton sort of part of the world.
Yeah, it's around there somewhere.
Can't say I've spent much time in Strathmerton.
No. Oh, Mitchell just dropped the ball in his own defensive 50s. Yarrawonga tried to switch, and his kick is a shocker, and it's turned over. And here's Jai Dalzotto for the Rovers. Left half forward, tries to get around a tackler. Snaps it inside 50. The ball bounces beautifully for Cleland, who got tackled but was able to get a kick away. Left foot kick is goal bound, but it's marked on the goal square line by Archie Jakes for Yarrawonga, who has an option in the pocket. It's Harry Wheeler. He plays on. Exiting kick is marked by Bailey Fronfelder at left half back for Yarrawonga, but they have some work to do, Gussie. 2-1-13 they trail to the Rovers. 5-12-42 for Harvey Norman Betting, who played 16 minutes in the third term.
I'm an Archie Jakes fan, Panda. I think he's a name that you're going to see a lot of footy played out of in the hoops at Yarrawonga on centre wing. Bit of a fly at the back of the play, and Ed Damon still looks a little bit proppy here, Panda. He doesn't look to be at his best. Big Ed in the ruck against Elliott. He's playing through Payne. Catapan fed it backwards onto Smith. Smith is pumped at 45 metres in the air and said, have a go at this one, boys. Long ball on the boundary line, tracking it towards the boundaries. Fraser gets the hands, then throws it on the boot. High up and under. Went further in the air than it did length. And a good mark taken by Catapan, the mummy.
He started the game with that. Something must have happened in the warm-up. Surely.
Potentially. Dangerous kick into the guts. Lockie O'Brien overran it on the cricket pitch. Lost his footing momentarily. Watson showed poise. Handball to the runner. Here come the Pigeons. Harry Wheeler to a one-on-one inside 50. Kogel and McQuaid.
Just wrapped him up.
Maybe a little bit stiff, Panda.
Nah,
you thought it was there.
He just wrapped him up. So as soon as you put the arm... Oh, he's played on Gussie.
Oh, play on, Panda. I can't see it. I think it's a goal. Webster
in the goal square, but I
think back.
I think they've called it back. So as soon as you just wrap the arms around your opponent and you show that sign of worrying, you give the umpire a reason to give a free kick. So it was a really quick entry from Harry Wheeler. Jace McQuaid actually got really good body work and didn't really need to impede in that contest. And Benny Cokill was sort of right place and got himself in front. So he's lining up for his third goal. And can you believe he is the only Yarrawonga goal scorer today, Gus McLeod?
He certainly is. Ben Kogel, must-kick goal, 35 metres out on a slide angle, kicking to the Evans Street end. Here's Big Ben, must-kick goal for the Pigeons. Up he steps, and he steers it through the middle. He's got 3, and the margin's back to 23 points on O&M Live. The Pigeons maintain a heartbeat. Nice finish from Big Ben.
Had to finish that goal, and a major against the run of play. So they've been accurate. 3-1-19 from 4 shots, and the Rovers are 5-12-42. We can tell you, though, there's a bit of a boil-over happening at Button Park. North Albury lead 5-7-37 over the Magpies 2-8-20. And, of course, if the Magpies drop this game, they will probably hand over the minor premiership, you would think. At the moment, going into round 18, the Rovers will go to first on the ladder if the scores stay the same here. So that's a massive story, as the Rovers edge the ball forward inside their own attacking 50. Catapan dives on a Yarrawonga Pigeon at the bottom of the pack, and we'll have a ball up.
7-14-56 Myrtleford to the Wodonga Bulldogs 8-6-54 Panda. Around the ground, 16 minutes gone on O&M Live.
So some seriously big score lines in terms of what it means for 2026 right now. A beauty over at Martin Park, and a big story brewing at Button Park. Ball up. Damon looks to be okay. Wilson crunched by Catapan and Stewie Booth at the same time. We'll have a ball up.
So, Panda, after 20 minutes here, I think Yarrawonga really need to try and get one more goal just to keep the heartbeat alive coming into the three-quarter time address.
Yeah, they need to be within 3 goals, you would think, at three-quarter time. We have another stoppage. There's 15 to 20 players around this Sharon, and a third consecutive stoppage inside about 20 metres of play inside the Yarrawonga attacking 50.
So it's going to be Damon in the ruck up against Elliott. Elliott won it down and he got busy at ground level. And we're going to have another stoppage here. Actually, hang on. We're going to have a holding the ball. We're going to have a free kick to the Rovers. And Charlie Thompson is lurking, and he's going to get the free kick, Panda, for a holding the ball.
Riley Sharp has just kicked his 4th goal for Myrtleford. They have now got a lead of 8 points. So they've clawed one back at the Myrtleford Alpine Saints around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies.
Now, Charlie Thompson, Panda, I reckon this is on his distance. He's not a huge kick of the football.
No.
He's normally a 45-metre at his best type of kick. So Will Christie's on the line here, and I reckon he's going to have to get busy. Thompson's going to have to kick 48 metres, build some momentum. He says, Gus, you can go and have a little bit of you-know-what. I've got the leg from here, but it's across the face for another minor score. 5-13-43 to 3-1-19. The Rovers lead the Pigeons on O&M Live on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. third term, thanks to Mimo and the boys at Albury Wodonga MG.
So the Wheeler boys have shared the kick-in duties today.
Stat padding?
Yeah, there's a free kick here to Damon for a hold. And he's got the ball at half forward. He's screamed at by his teammate to turn around and have a look at me. It's Catapan. He gives a hand pass off to Lockie O'Brien. Flying shot from the junction, the 50 in the boundary line. Floating across the pack is young Harry McMonigal. There's Noah Schulte, rather. And that's his second mark inside forward 50 for the Wang Rovers today.
I don't know how many times I've got to say it, Panda. When the ball gets kicked in with pace and get kicked in quickly inside 50, both sides struggle with answers. So great ball there from the Morris medalist, Lockie O'Brien.
So Noah Schulte, 15 metres out directly in front, kicks it. And the Rovers kick away again. They go to 6-13-49 to 3-1-19. That's an even 5-goal margin on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We've played 23 minutes for Club Mulwala. So the Rovers, you would think now, with that 5-goal margin, have probably done enough. It's all over to Yarrawonga now, Gussie, to claw their way back.
It certainly is, Panda, but take nothing away from the finish there from Noah Schulte. You'd have to go back and kick it on a day where goals have been hard to come by. So we spoke to Kyle Raven in the pre-game show about what an impact player he is for the brown and gold, and he's capable of covering big Ks, and as he showed there, impacting in front of the big sticks.
6 individual goal kickers for the Rovers.
Elliott onto Gibbons. This is the best bit of play here from the Pigeons, the opening stages of the final half. Out wide, Jakes sees it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Gibbons looks to have gone to half back there, I think, Panda, and spitting off the back of the stoppage. We're getting around the grounds, Everton Farm Supplies.
63 Myrtleford, Wodonga 54. That one at the 19th minute mark of the third quarter.
We've played 23 and a half here thanks to Club Mulwala. We'll be heading there in a few weeks' time. Panda, watch this space. Breaking away here is Justin Lewis for the Rovers. Gets the ball in the middle of the ground, and an elite pick up there from the Rooster McCarthy, who goes to the runner out wide. Getting a good bounce. Taking a second bounce is Schulte, kicking to the top of the goal square. Not
Smothered.
the best kick. It was smothered off the boot. Under the pump here is Payne, but stood up when it mattered most. Took a strong mark in the back pocket. Going to reassess his options here, Panda, and probably dump it long down the line for the big men.
Three-quarter time can't be far away, even though we have had 5 goals in this third quarter after only 3 goals for a half. The Rovers lead by 30 points. The Magpies have clawed one back against the Hoppers. The margin is 11 points at Button Park.
He's a player, Panda, that's limited his impact on the game today, and that's Charlie McKenna. 33 goals for the season. Really want to see Yarrawonga get him into the game in some capacity.
So he was super quiet against the Wang Magpies 2 or 3 weeks ago. Matt Grossman held him goalless. So it's either 3 or 4 and he impacts, or he's just a bit quiet, is Charlie McKenna. He's got to find a way to somehow get himself in the game as Hardy shows pace and class, snaps it inside 50, onto the lap of Oscar Cleland. It wasn't his intended target, but that's what happened when you play in front, and Oscar Cleland will line up from a very similar distance and spot from where he missed a goal in the first quarter, about 48 out directly in front.
Kicked 4 behinds, Panda, and 1 didn't trouble the scorers. So Oscar Cleland, he'll be having that in the back of his head. It's a really big chance for the youngster to kick one with some demons in the back of his head.
So Hardy provided the spark. Can Oscar Cleland finish off some good work here? He deserves a goal. It's a stuttering, slow approach. It's not going to get the distance. It's landed in the goal square and it's punched through by the Yarrawonga defence. Didn't get enough momentum in that run-up. 3-2-20 Yarrawonga, trailing the Rovers 6-14-50 rather, to Yarrawonga 3-1-19. It's a 31-point margin.
Willie Wheeler from fullback, up the guts. Jace McQuaid, third bite of the cherry. Umpire Taylor Perkins said that was a mark. Out wide, that's where they go. In the hands of Schulte.
Been good today, Gussie.
He's been very good today.
Could be a Rebel training player of the day opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's your call, Pandy. Inside forward 50, big cack. Henley impacted the play. Under the pump there was McKimmie. Pinballs around, deep into attack here for the Rovers. Umpire's got the whistle in the mouth and will ball it up with Oscar Cleland. Slow to get up at the bottom of the contest. 15 metres out from Rovers' goal. Up goes the Sharon. Exiting D50 are the Hoops. Going to come back in fairly quickly though, Panda, if Allison get his hands on the football. He threw that as blatant as you like onto Jace McQuaid. Now that's a free kick because Jace has been
he was met head on by Maxi Finlay. And
actually, the umpire might be pointing the way of Finlay here. Hang on.
No,
he's bringing it back.
Yeah, it's a free kick down the field. McQuaid was poleaxed as he got kick away, and it's a free kick to the Rovers, Gussie.
Take it away, Palake. Thanks to the Wangaratta Pump Shop.
So here's Jason McQuaid. He's not normally the guy that puts the ball inside forward 50. He's going to land about 40 out. Oh, good mark across the pack by Jordan Urquhart, who's had a super 6 weeks for Yarrawonga.
The intercept marking that he's added to his game in recent weeks, Panda, is elite.
So here's McKenna deep in defence where they don't want him with the pill. Finds Archie Jakes. Oh, exiting kick has been intercepted. Has it by Wilson. Affected the contest as Fraser went to mark, and the Rovers swarm and force a stoppage inside forward 50. It's lived in there, attacking half of the ground in this third quarter for Wangaratta MG. We've played 27 minutes for Club Mulwala, and the Rovers lead by 31 points. They've probably done enough in this ball game. Yarrawonga are going to need to come out and kick 5 in the last quarter, you'd think, and they've only kicked 3 for the game as the Rovers kick the ball out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick to Archie Jakes, deep in the right back pocket here for Yarrawonga.
He'd have plenty of 40 winks today, Panda. I would have thought Archie Jakes.
He's been one of their better players.
He's going to send this one, hugging the boundary line, searching for Fraser, kept inside the field of play by Fraunfelder. On the left boot he goes, a high up and under. Sitting in the hole here, Panda, is Henley. Brought it front and centre. And the siren sounds for three-quarter time. Hit the WJ Finlay Oval, a term that had more goals in that quarter than what the game had prior to it. Goals to McCarthy, Booth, Christie, Kogel and Noah Schulte. And that's three-quarter time. Wangaratta Rovers 6-14-50 to Yarrawonga 3-1-19. Stick with us on O&M Live. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
This goes out to all the athletes, the fitness buffs, and the huff and puffs. On your marks, get set. Find your perfect fit at the athlete's foot.
Three-quarter time at the WJ Finlay Oval. Yarrawonga with it all to do in this final quarter. They trail 3-1-19 to the Rovers, 6-14-50 here on O&M Live. It was a 4-1 third quarter, bearing in mind we only had 4 goals in the opening half. So we had more goals in that third quarter than what we did in the first half of footy. Blake Panarescott with you. Gus McLeod with our quarter's best in the third quarter, all thanks to the premix king. Gussie, who liked your eye, my friend?
Well, Panda, I think the men in green deserve a shout-out today. I think they've been very, very good in the way the game's been officiated. I want to give a shout-out to Jack Elliott, who I think's been gallant in the ruck today. But I think the third term, Panda, for the Wangaratta Rovers, there's a few players that caught your eye in the quarter's best for the premix king.
I thought Noah Schulte provided some pretty good run and carry. I'd love to know his numbers. He probably won't have the most touches for the Rovers, but he'll be up there, I reckon, in the top 5. And, of course, he finished a really good goal in that third quarter. I thought Mitch Hardy around the contest as well got himself involved, and he was pretty clean inside forward 50. While for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, you mentioned Jack Elliott. I thought Archie Jakes has had a real impact in defence, and he's actually had a fair bit of the footy, has the young man as well. So well done to Archie Jakes, our quarter's best for the pre-mix king. Around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies, it is three-quarter time in a number of games in the competition. Actually, 2 minutes into the last quarter at Button Park, and the Hoppers lead 5-9-39 to the Magpies 3-8-26. So if things continue on there at Button Park and North Albury win, A, it'll be a big upset, but B, the Rovers will claim back top spot. So we'll continue to update you there in that game. Myrtleford lead Wodonga by 3 points at three-quarter time, 9-15-69 to Wodonga, 10-6-66. So Lukey Francis won't believe his eyes. A, it's a high-scoring close game, and B, all that's happening at Martin Park, his favourite venue. Gussie?
Now, Panda, what is going on with North Albury?
In what way?
Well, they're playing out of their skin.
Yeah, so I think probably finding good form at the wrong time of the year in a way, because they won't be playing finals. But you and I have been banging on about it throughout most of the year, Gussie, that they've probably had a really good season in terms of they've only won 5 games, but they've probably deserved to win a couple more. And the Magpies have a few not playing, but you can only play who's in front of you. So we're
that you certainly can, Panda. We're underway in the final term on O&M Live, thanks to the Colonel. And won't he be getting a bit of a hiding on the way home?
Absolutely. What's your go-to Colonel feed?
Depends the sort of scenario, Panda.
Okay, you're hungover. What are you going for?
You get the 3-piece feed and a burger.
Yep.
If you're hungover, but if it's on the way back home, I might just settle for a
Zinger box.
For the Zinger box, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't beat it. Thanks to the Colonel on O&M Live. Inside forward 50s where the Rovers want to go early. Oh, Christie, good hands. You just can't stop delivery like that. 35 metres out, slight angle.
Yeah, great delivery once again. And he's been able to take a few marks inside forward 50. I reckon this is his 3rd or 4th mark inside the attacking area, and could have kicked 3 or 4 majors. Will Christie's only got the 1 goal today. He kicked 1 out in the full and a behind as well. So, of course, he kicked 9 goals last week. But if he kicks this, get Rex Hunt out to sing the fat lady, Gussie, because it's all over.
I think so. Here's Big Will. Evans Street end. Off the boot. He didn't like it. He did not like it straight away. Panda, another minor score. 6-15-51. The Rovers and the Yarrawonga Pigeons are 3-1-19.
4th quarter, all thanks to KFC. Big thanks to Brandon Genvy and the crew at Border Switchboards as well.
He'll be nervy.
Yeah, will be nervy. The VP of the Wangaratta Magpies. So Yarrawonga, kick-in duties from Harry Wheeler. Finds his brother Willie, who goes short. Cam Wilson been quieter today around the stoppages, Cam Wilson. Big lead comes from Webster. That's ignored. He goes wide and overlaps to Josh Payne, who has it right on the paint. The defensive side of the scoreboard. Inboard. Kick finds the man that gave it to him, and Cam Wilson. He's going to go short with another 45. Finds Harry Wheeler. He's going to now switch.
This is a great build-up.
Here's where they can go. Pardon me. The Coke is coming back up the diaphragm as Mitchell goes short to Gibbons, who's been quiet today. Marks in front of his own bench.
Sorry, Panda, to cut you off, but the Coca-Cola for those playing along at home.
Yes, thank you very much. Just making sure you cover all bases there. It's Webster has the ball, finds Payne in the defensive 50. They've taken about 15 marks here, and they've moved about 50 metres, Yarrawonga. Elliott has the ball in front of the scoreboard, pops it out wide. Flying at the footy is Finlay. Damon wins it for the Rovers. He's going to go long down the line. It's been intercepted, though, by Webster. Finds at the back here to McMonigal. McMonigal onto O'Brien, who's going to take a flying shot at goal. Vacant goal square. It's across the face for a minor score, all thanks to Border Switchboards. The Rovers lead by 32 points. Make it 33 points. 6-16-52 to the Pigeons, 3-1-19.
Around the grounds, Everton Farm Supplies, goal to Jackson Clark. 8-point ball game between North Albury and the Wangaratta Magpies. 6 minutes gone in that encounter, Panda. We'll keep close tabs on the Myrtleford versus Dogs score. 3-point buffer to the Tricolours, who have kicked inaccurately this afternoon. But not as inaccurately as the Rovers. 6-16-52 to 3-1-19. Yarrawonga have it deep in the defensive line. They come out towards the broadcast side with Michael Gibbons. Quick handball over the top. Puts the big fella Henley under the pump. Going to get the ball towards the boundary line now for a boundary throw-in. In fact, it was Bailey Fraunfelder, my apologies. Got blocked by the old fluffy dog, our ambience Mike Panda.
Still a 3-point ball game between Myrtleford and Wodonga at Martin Park to start the last quarter. Of course, the Dogs win, they sew up third spot. If Myrtleford win, they jump the Dogs on percentage.
We'll have another stoppage here, Panda. Great to see Michael Gibbons really just trying to thrust some life into this game here for the Hoops.
Another goal to the Wangaratta Magpies. Matt Grossman has gone forward. They trail by 2 points, 40 to 38. The Magpies were the last two.
Lewis, high up and under inside 50. Clellan was the target for the brown and gold. Brought it front and square. Pinballs around. Nice work at the back of the contest. Impacting the play from Mitchell, who forced a stoppage. Will ball the footy up, Panda. 40 metres out from Rovers' goal. Up goes the Sharon. Christie doing the ruck work now whilst inside forward 50. Nice work from the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They force a stoppage. A boundary throwing deep into attack, Panda.
Gus McLeod and Blake Penderescott with you for 40 Winks, for Rovers Wangaratta, also for the Wang Pump Shop. Pretty much everyone today. And the Colonel here in the last quarter. Of course, we had a soldier and David Wink go down early. And he wasn't able to make it today. Called in sick.
What do you reckon the stoppage count in today's game is, Panda?
100.
Plus, raise the bat.
Ball up. Inside Rovers attacking 50. Punch comes from Christie. It clears the stoppage, but only as far as Willie Wheeler. Tied up against the paint. Clearing kick is almost intercepted by Boyd from the Rovers. McCarthy tackled by Fraser and also Wheeler. And we'll have a ball up a metre or two in from the boundary. And the junction of the 50. The Rovers kicking to the Evans Street end in this last quarter. Gibbons, hand pass it to himself. The ball trickles across the line and he had another 3 or 4 stoppages to that tally. Gussie, a boundary throw in favour of the Wangaratta Rovers, who have a 32-point advantage, all thanks to Border Switchboards at the 5th minute mark for Club Mulwala final term.
Here's Charlie Thompson breaking from the stoppage on the non-preferred. Inside 50, the kick had a bit too much on it. A little bit too much on it for Cleland as Urquhart mops up at the back of the contest. Kicks to Bailey Fraunfelder, who can run and go and gain valuable yardage here for the Hoops. His handball was smothered at the crucial moment. Regathers composure on the ball, comes in ball with a floater. Harry Wheeler, third bite of the cherry. Paddled it forward. Cam Wilson left it behind. Webster has a crack at this one. Now Allison back on to Mitch Hardy, who retreats, then realises that was a dead end. Goes back on the left foot, down the line, searching for Lockie O'Brien. He looks to be working his way up the ground a little bit. The switch is on here. Ed Damon, who was at the back of the contest, marks on the edge of the cricket wicket to the running Carra. Boyd on the right foot for the Rovers. Stewie Booth on a searching lead and got a nice bounce on the half volley. Tied up on the boundary line, uses the right to kick inside forward 50. Good work at the back of the contest from Big Tommy Gorman, who's wearing 36 now. Lizard Keens tackled, and a ball up deep into attack for the Rovers.
Around the grounds for Everton Farm Supplies, the Hoppers still leading the Magpies by 2 points, and Myrtleford leading Wodonga by 3 points at the moment. Both of those games into the final quarter. Wilson swoops on this stoppage ball. Flying shot from the boundary. Dylan Wilson sizes him up from the pocket. Ball stays in play and then trickles across the line next to the point post for a boundary throw-in. So 52 plays 19. We've only had a point or two in this final quarter for Border Switchboards. We've played 7 minutes for Club Mulwala, and it's back to where it started. No goals after 5 in the third quarter. A total of 9 for the game. 9 goals for the game, yep. Willie Wheeler out of the stoppage, squeezes the ball out of defence. Good quick hands from Finlay. Finds the running man in Webster, who ran into a brick wall in Brodie Paul, the late inclusion. Turnover. Paul just deliberate as you like. Deliberate as you like. Just says, I'll punch this across the line in front of the scoreboard. And we'll have a boundary thrown and everyone will reset here in this final quarter for KFC.
Just want the Rovers to show something a little bit more here, Panda. They've been okay today without being great. Game seems to be well and truly out of Yarrawonga's grasp now, but I want to see the Rovers playing some good footy and kick themselves into gear. Yarrawonga doing the attacking here in towards the middle of the ground. Breaking forward is Jakes. Handball over the top. That's where it goes to. Cogill onto the runner. Big shot on goal. Flying shot on goal is through, Panda.
McKenna.
Is it Charlie McKenna?
Yep.
It is. I reckon it's only his first disposal or second disposal we've called for the day. And the big fella's kicked a steal on goal of the day. 34 for the season, Panda, a much-needed one against the run of play.
Yeah, margin back to 26 points, but you'd think it's probably just a little bit too far for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. That came from nothing. It was a really quick clearing kick to half forward and a good hand pass from Jakes and then onto the running man, McKenna. And he's very much like Noah Spiteri. He only needs a disposal or two to make you pay, and certainly hasn't been his day. Charles Ledger has taken the chockies there, but was his moment in that last quarter. A margin back to 27 points. 52-25 here for Border Switchboards. There's a whistle in the middle of the ground and a centre square infringement here.
I think it might have been the water boy, Panda.
Right, okay. So a free kick to Yarrawonga. They go inside once again. Jakes worked his way to the front. Hung on to a Mawson's concrete marker today, and I'm not sure the young man has the journey here. He's only 17 or 18. You'll have to make contact from the Sharon for about 50 metres.
I reckon he's got the leg, Panda.
You reckon?
I've seen him kick some big roosts to the Sharon. I reckon he's got the leg easily.
Okay.
I'll back him in.
He is a left footer, is Archie Jakes. He's only a small frame, though. He's going to make contact from about 50 metres. He arcs around. I reckon he's just going to land short into the pocket. Cogill tried to mark the footy. Dalzotto, a bit of work to do in defence for the Rovers. Ekes a kick out, only as far as Willie Wheeler. Left foot kick tied up against the pocket. Finds Xavier Allison in defence for the Wangaratta Rovers, and nothing coming of that forward fury for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, who still trail by 27 points at the 10th minute mark for Club Mulwala.
Myrtleford draw first blood in the final term against the Dogs. 75 plays 66 at Martin Park. As Lockie O'Brien goes long down the line, searching for Wilson, wearing him his pain. Breaks forward now for Wilson, inside forward 50, and Booth on the end of a good bit of play there, coast to coast from the Rovers.
Yeah, good footy once again by the Wangaratta Rovers. And Stewie Booth, he's already kicked one goal, a really smart snap in this in the third quarter. Has a chance to go back and kick his second. It would be some effort, though. I mean, he's looking straight into the sun. You can see him covering his face right now, and he's right up against the boundary, 40 metres out.
Will take his best, as Blake Escott said, for the Wangaratta Pump Shop. Stewie Booth already kicked one today. Right foot kick, looks to have the distance. Accuracy as across the face and assisted through by the Yarrawonga defenders. 6-17-53 to 4-1-25. One of the more remarkable scorelines of season 2026. All thanks to Border Switchboards.
The Wangaratta Magpies have hit the front. James McCloonan has kicked a goal. They now lead by 5 points over North Albury, 45-40. They've kicked the only 3 goals of this last quarter.
Corowa seem to be coming too, Panda, 55-66. They've kicked the last 3.
And, of course, at Martin Park, Myrtleford leads 75-66 over Wodonga. for Everton Farm Supply. So fair to say we got a good game.
Well, this is where the future can be a good thing, Panda,
Yep.
and we can time travel.
Absolutely. That'll happen no doubt soon. High up and under down the line, Yarrawonga go. There's 15 blokes around that pilt as it's punched over the line by Charles Ledger. In fact, it's Jace McQuaid, a little ginger to get up from that contest.
He's just grabbing at the back of his back there, Panda, and Allison's going to get back on the ground quickly for him. Might have been just a good old-fashioned knee.
Yep. Straight into the back of Jace McQuaid. He's going to go take a seat. And the ball is tossed back into play in between the two benches. Christie's kick was smothered off the shin of a Yarrawonga Pigeon. The no-look hand pass from Wheeler was spectacular. Urquhart's floating ball is going to land at left half forward here for Yarrawonga. Brodie Paul. In fact, it's Charles Ledger is just happy to see this across the chalk for a boundary throw-in.
Someone from Yarrawonga yelled out, didn't want it, Charles. Now, what they failed to contemplate was Jack Elliott was about a metre behind him, Panda.
Big Jack mowing him down.
And if he picked that footy up, Jack was going to put him in the next week. Boundary throw-in. Gorman's gone into the ruck for the Pigeons. Ball's on centre wing. Hacked out of the contest there by Zach Forge. High up and under to half forward. Good mark out in front from Max Finlay, who's been good today across half forward. He gets the ball inside 50 with pace for the Pigeons. Flying across the contest, McKenna. Second bite of the cherry. Tracking this one is my man Timu up against Boyd. And he couldn't quite impact the play to Jackson Hurrigan. He's playing his role today for the Pigeons. Minor score. 4-2-26 to 6-17-53. Allison's got it at fullback for the home side.
If someone offered me $250 to watch this back tonight, I'd probably pass.
Well, that's what Ace Radio offer you, mate.
It's that sort of game at the moment, Gussie. We're hanging on here. Charlie Thompson chips the ball to Noah Schulte, who might be a contender for the Rebel Training Player of the Day because no one really stands out to me in the slightest.
Chris Ionelli, the after midnight specialist, is gold for the North Albury Hoppers, 6-11-47 to Wangaratta, 6-9-45.
He was the hero last week, and who would have thought that he might back it up 2 weeks in a row? Your man Chris Ionelli, the boy from Leeton, will keep you updated on all the scores. It means a lot in the final moments of season 2026 as the Rovers chip the footy to Joel Smith.
He's been good today, Panda.
Yeah, does his role every week, Joel Smith. He's going to go short, and he finds Brodie Paul. He's got a man on the far wing, and that's where it goes. Kieran Parnell. He's going to go short to Catapan. They're just holding onto the football here, the Wang Rovers. McCartney has the footy in front of the scoreboard.
53 plays 26 on O&M Live. Fourth term thanks to KFC. Best bit of play here from the Rovers we've seen all day. It's a methodical build-up. Paul chisels one, finds the intended target in Stewie Booth in front of the windsock here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Now they opt to dump the ball deep into the hot spot, looking for a flyer, and Christie brought it front and centre. McCarthy across his body, has Del Zotto all alone in the open goal square, and he's marked. Point-blank range, Panda. Slightest of all angles for Jai Del Zotto.
So you sort of want to work out who his opponent is there because he's just let him go. He's just let him go inside forward 50. We know that he likes to play on a wing. He's on this right wing at the moment. He's just floated forward unopposed.
Jai Del Zotto steers it through for the Rovers. They get their seventh. 7-17, 59 to 4-2-26 after 15 minutes, thanks to Club Mulwala. As you said, Pen, I just reckon that's the aerobic capacity of Jai Del Zotto starting to wear down on a few of these Yarrawonga Pigeons players. He just floated forward and impacted the play. Brilliant finish and a brilliant mark from John Del Zotto. He was a player, Panda, that we learnt has had a rather unique injury across the off-season, but worked his way back into the side. Of course, he's a heartbreak story of last year's grand final side, but he's a player that can add a lot to this Rovers outfit, John Del Zotto.
Yeah, so an Achilles injury, just couldn't run. He couldn't run, didn't do a pre-season, and has now found himself in the side at the right time of the year, Jai Del Zotto. So margin out to 33 points, all thanks to Border Switchboards, fourth term for KFC. 16 minutes played here for Club Mulwala. We will go around the grounds when we can. Some close contests in round 17, the penultimate round of the Ovens and Murray. Ball up, Christie taps it down to Jakes. Wilson's clearing kickers as far as Xavier Allison.
Lavington 66 to Corowa 61. Corowa kicked the last 5 goals in that encounter. Myrtleford have built a 20-point buffer. 87 to 67 at the 12-minute mark, Panda. And a 2-point game between Wangaratta and, of course, the Hoppers with 20 minutes gone.
Into the pocket the Rovers go. So every single person in this venue wearing brown and gold will be cheering on for the North Albury Hoppers, you would think at the moment, Gussie.
Bingo.
Because if the Rovers win, which they will, they're 33 points in front, and this is where the percentage plays a part. So Yarrawonga have only kicked 26 points. So the Rovers have probably got 3 or 4% on the Magpies here, who will fall a little bit as well if they do lose. Thompson tackled by Forge. He's given away a free kick in the back. Has Zach Forge. Charlie Thompson is pulled from the bottom of that pack, and he will line up for his second major. 45-degree angle, about 40 out.
Fair contender, Panda, for the Rebel trainer player of the day for mine, Charlie Thompson. This guy is a revelation in his second season of the competition. He's a midfielder that kicks the goals that the Rovers desperately need from their on-ballers, and he goes all day. He looked gassed. He was putting his head on his haunches in the early stage of the second term, and he's still sticking up and fighting for the brown and gold.
He's probably got 25, 30 and a goal. So 30 disposals and 2 goals. A pretty good afternoon for Charlie Thompson. He's missed it to the narrow side. Through for 1 minor score. The Rovers 7-18-60, leading Yarrawonga 4-2-26. It's fair to say they've been the far superior side all day, and this margin should be a lot healthier, Gussie, for the Wang Pump Shop.
21-point lead to Myrtleford over the Dogs. Dying stages of that encounter. In fact, 13 minutes gone, Panda, so my apologies there. Pinballs around on the edge of the centre square. Getting it inside 50 is McCarthy for the Wangaratta Rovers. A high up and under, searching for Cleland. Booth doing the crumbing. Webster applying some defensive pressure for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and will ball the footy up.
1 point between North Albury and the Wang Magpies. 6-11 to 6-10. North Albury lead by 1 point. 22 minutes played into the last quarter at Button Park.
Yarrawonga going to try and get the boot to ball here and clear defensive lines. Just kick it, son. Webster breaks around one, handballs backwards, under the pump there.
Just inviting pressure.
Yeah, they certainly are, Panda.
At some stage, you just got to get the ball on the boot and clear defence. You're inviting overlap and pressure there, which the Rovers were on the money.
Elliott working hard. So too here is Keynes, who's played a big role today in defence. 19 minutes gone, Panda. 26 plays 60 thanks to KFC. The home side in front.
I can tell you it is going to be a long post game here. This is why we made the executive decision to wrap up at 5 p.m. You know, we used to go through till 6 o'clock. O&M Live back in the day. Imagine finishing at 4:20 and having another hour and 40 on air.
Simon Core and Robbie McKinley were part of the call team back then, and they were experts in talking you know what.
Absolutely. 4-point margin between Lavington and Corowa at the Lavington Sports Ground. Corowa kicked the last 5 goals in that game. Boundary thrown inside the Rovers attacking 50, and Alex McCarthy's kicked that into the bar reserve pool. Out of bounds on the full. This is where we start to think about our Revel training player of the day. No one in the slightest stands out to both you or I, Gussie.
Can we get to the umpires?
Yeah, potentially. They've been pretty good. Maybe Jaden Taylor-Perkins. Still sort of looking at Noah Schulte. I mean, we've had 7 individual goal kickers for the Rovers. Oh, good mark floating across as Ben Cogill has kicked 3 for Yarrawonga. He looks up. He sees one player in his own half of the ground, and he's turned it over to Xavier Allison on centre wing.
Hourigan had a chance to impact the play there, Panda, but just got there a little bit late. Across the face. Goes catch Catapan, looking for Lockie O'Brien. Will suit the left footer as he heads towards the showground side. Inboard to Hardy, who's been busy, Panda.
The Magpies have kicked a goal. They lead by 5 points. The goal was to Jackson Clark. They lead by 5 points. 23 played in the last quarter. The Magpies are still on top of the ladder as we speak.
Wouldn't you love another Jackson Clark in your side? Inside 50. Cleland impacts the play. Del Zotto across his body, looking for the only double. Jai Del Zotto touched on the line. What a little touch there from Xavier Mitchell. If he was playing soccer, he's banged into the back post. He stuck the foot out, Panda, but he saved a goal. A good bit of defensive play.
He certainly has, as the Yarrawonga Pigeons bring the footy back in quickly from the kick-in. We've played 21 minutes for Club Mulwala in this final quarter. All thanks to KFC as Alex McCarthy forces this footy across the chalk for a boundary thrown in front of the Wang Rovers bench. So they'll be happy without being ecstatic. Real arm wrestle of a contest. Slow day for both sides.
17 minutes gone. Myrtleford 95, the Dogs 68. I reckon that one's over.
Yep, absolutely. So Myrtleford will jump into third position. It'll come down to round 18 as the Rovers go forward once again. Another minor score. That ball's allowed to go through behind.
A 10-point margin between Lavington and the Roos. Sean Driscoll gives the home side a much-needed steadier, Panda.
36 points the margin here at the WJ Finlay Oval. As Yarrawonga bring in the football once again. Webster, in fact, that was Jake, swung around in a 360. Got a hand pass away. Wheeler looks up, sees no one there. Jace McQuaid intercepts on true centre wing, and it's fair to say the Rovers are just toying with him now, Gussie.
They certainly are, Panda. We'll get some more around the ground shortly as they roll in. Parnell, chipping ball for the Rovers, finds Mitch Hardy. I reckon, Panda, Mitch Hardy, he always has 10 more than what you think he's had, so I reckon he's getting close to 40 again today. Mitch Hardy, he brings the ball out wide here to Joel Smith in front of our broadcast position. Thanks to Wangaratta Pump Shop on O&M Live. Del Zotto breaks away, racking up some 40 Winks disposals. And Panda, thanks to Avis Wangaratta, we've got a free kick here, mate. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, well, considering you've thrown me under the bus because you knew I was looking at scores.
I was watching the play, sorry.
I was looking at scores about to give it around the grounder.
The Avis bus has been deployed, Panda. I've thrown you right under an inside 50. Nice mark taken. I reckon it's Big Will.
Will Christie.
Big Will Christie deep into attack. He's already had a look at the sticks from this spot already today.
So in the end, he's still kicked 1 goal, 2, and 1 out on the 4. So it's been an okay day here for Will Christie. Spent a fair bit of time in the ruck today, and I think that's a ploy the Rovers will continue into September. Bit more 50-50 from Will and from Ed Damon instead of isolating Will Christie as the main forward.
Particularly as Ed looks to be nursing that wrist injury too, Panda. We've got a 50. We've got a 50-metre penalty, and it's going to be a near certainty for Will Christie. I can only assume for back chat.
Or a stand.
You can have a look at the replay here, Panda, as Will Christie bangs this one through. And, of course, Big Will gets on the KFC scoreboard with the first double of the day, Panda. And it must have been back chat. It must have been back chat coming from a rival player. So, Will Christie kicks the goal. 68 plays 26 here on O&M Live, Panda. Thanks.
Final, full time. The Magpies have won by 5 points. They have escaped a massive scare at Button Park. They trailed by 11 points at three-quarter time, and they have kicked a 4-goal-to-1 final quarter to grab a victory, a much important victory in the context of the minor premiership. So well done to the Magpies. It'll come down to, it's still live. It'll come down to round 18, and Lavington lead Corowa 73-62. Myrtleford 95 to Wodonga 74, and Albury 106 to the Raiders 73, all thanks to Everton Farm Supplies. Back here in the middle, Gorman doing the rucking. Kicks it inside forward 50, marked on the chest by Maxi Finlay. Lead comes from McKenna. That's where he kick goes. It was a beauty. McKenna on a lead. Separation between him and his opponent, and he dropped an easy mark in the end. Oh, big contest there. Henley was
tripped.
Well, what happened here was Henley completely crunched Stewie Booth. Should have been a free kick in the first instance, and then Stewie Booth has tripped Lewis Henley.
So it's going to be a free kick here, Panda, for Stewie Booth. Well, the trip come after the high, so you can't have your cake and eat it too. So Booth on centre wing for the Rovers. He's going to go long down the line with a high up and under. Bang, that's what he does. Not the greatest display of kicking of the Sharon. Heading towards the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. It's really in moments like this, Panda, where you see the value in Dan Vaccaro and Bobby J.
Absolutely.
For Avis Wangaratta, they step up to the plate.
Especially at 4:30 as well, when we'll be talking a bit of crap at our post-game show for Batalis, I can tell you that.
Plenty of interviews coming today, Pandy.
Absolutely.
Plenty of interviews. Boundary throw-in comes back into play. Cam Wilson lost his footing, and the umpires paid a free kick to him, so he might have got a bit of an illegal block there. Wilson across half-back for the Hoops. Being gallant today. Of course, was excellent last week in the win over the Bulldogs, who are going to lose back-to-back games. Thompson onto Allison. Here come the Rovers. Nice hand pass to the runner in Parnell. Parnell, lob wedge inside 50. And I reckon the mark has been taken by the Rooster McCarthy, who we know, Panda, has a big kick of the Sharon.
Yes, he does, the Rooster McCarthy. He kicked a really good goal in that third quarter. The game just needed it at that stage. He's such an important player, and we know he's a big-time player in finals in September, is Alex McCarthy. Had a wonderful final series back in 2024. He's big in big moments, and he's got a big role to play for the Rovers if they're going for that three-peat.
Here's McCarthy, Evans Street end, right foot kick off a measured approach. Is just snuck through the big stick. So McCarthy's got himself a double. He joins Will Christie in the only players to kick two today. And the Rovers move to 9-20-74 to 4-2-26. Thanks to Border Switchboards, and Brendan Genvey will be a happy man. Panda repeating that around the ground score.
Yeah, the Wangaratta Magpies have beaten North Albury by 5 points in a really close contest, a low-scoring one.
Minutes gone, Brodie Riccardi has kicked Murdoch its 14th goal, 14-17-101 to the Dogs, 12-8-80.
So I reckon the the Yarrawonga water boy was inside the centre square.
A triple 50.
Wow. What has happened here? So I reckon the Yarrawonga water boy has been inside the centre square, or it's a centre square infringement. There's been back chat, and Will Christie will get marched to the top of the goal square, and he'll kick his third. Extraordinary. No one knows what's going on here, including us.
So it's a goal?
It's a goal. Write it down. Will Christie's kicked 3. 2 in this last quarter, and the margin is now a big one. It's that percentage booster that the Wang Rovers needed, and it's at 54 points. 10-20-80. 30 scoring shots to 6 to 4-2-26. So we're all a little bit confused here. And the umpires have been really good today. They've been really solid, but not really sure what that's for. But the Rovers won't mind because they entered this game behind the Magpies on percentage. They'll now jump them on percentage. And it will come down to that round 18 encounter. The Magpies will play the Dogs next week. And the Rovers play the Milford Alpine Saints. And a dour affair has finished here at the WJ Finlay Oval. It's been a masterclass in the end from the Rovers. Completely dominated the contest. 10-20-80, 30 scoring shots to 6. The Yarrawonga Pigeons 4-2-26. And the Pigeons will have to come the hard way through the elimination final now.
That most certainly will, Panda. You're going to head down and, of course, do our Player of the Day interview thanks to Rebel Training on O&M Live. I tell you what, it's going to be one of the tougher days to find Rebel Training Player of the Day as Blake Panda Escott collects his thoughts and he'll make his way down there. A little bit of multitasking upcoming here from Pandy. We'll have to find the splitter as well, Panda, just so that we can get down there and get amongst the people with full-time score here at the WJ Finlay Oval, 10-20-80 to 4-2-26. And, of course, plenty of other games still happening. Looks as if on O&M Live that Myrtleford are going to do enough to hang on in the clash against the Wodonga Bulldogs. 25 minutes gone, 101-80 over the Bulldogs. So they're going to do enough to hang on there. That'll mean that we've got a live ladder coming into the final round of the season. Some other full-time scores and scores are trickling in. 21 minutes gone. Lavington look to do enough to hang on as Corowa have a shot on goal that goes wide. 63 plays 74. So still a little bit of time left in that one. 9-9-63 to 11-8-74. There'll be a sniff in that encounter. And Wangaratta, that'll be the story of the round. They have survived an almighty scare against the North Albury Hoppers. The Magpies have held on 7-10-52 to North Albury, 6-11-47 in their encounter. Panda, I'm going to turn your mic on just to make sure we've got you, mate. You got us down there at ground level?
Yeah, we got you, Gussie. I tell you what, it's a bit colder down here. I don't mind the box up there. You know, while you and me as the callers, we're pretty protective of ourselves, mate. So I'm going to try and find our player of the day.
You go and find the Rebel Training Player of the Day. Plenty of people to contend with. I'll turn Panda's mic on when he goes and finds someone, but a bit of a late skedaddle down there to boundary level from our man Blake Panda Escott. The full-time score here at the WJ Finlay Oval. It was a horribly inaccurate Rovers outfit. 10-20-80 to Yarrawonga, 4-2-26. It was hardly a game to write home about. Looks as if Blake Panderescott has his man, our Revel Training Player of the Day.
Yeah, down here with Charlie Thompson. Tell you what, it was a dour first half, mate, but you finally broke away in that second half.
Yeah, a little bit like last week, to be honest. Like the Raiders threw a fair bit at us in the first half. Probably a good sign of like finals footy, you know, like teams like Yarra, Mert, Wang, they're going to bring it around the ball, and took a while to sort of break them, but we felt like, you know, even we've been in a bit of a slump for a couple of weeks there, but our defence has held up, and I think today, again, our defence was really strong. 2-12
in the first half. Mate, what was up with the kicking?
It's a bit scary. Like, you know, you give any team a chance, a sniff. It, like, felt like the game was in sort of our control, but to sort of keep them in it, you always get a little bit nervous. But again, it comes back to our defence. Like, I know they've already taken it down, but we've conceded probably
26 points.
26 again. I think last week might have been 15. It's good.
Charlie Thompson, our Revel Training Player of the Day. Back to you, Gussie. We'll get the song in a second.
Thanks, Blake Panderescott down there with Chucky. He was absolutely superb today. So well done to him and well done to the Rovers. We're going to follow Blake Panderescott into the rooms to sing the song. He's got the photo with Chucky and Panda. I just get the feeling, a sense of relief is the theme from the Wangaratta Rovers there. They're just really happy to get the 4 points.
Yeah, and of course, nothing to worry about too much. We'll have a chat with Sammy soon. Charles Ledger was good, Sammy, but he, you know, to be honest, no one actually really stood out. What do you think?
Oh, mate, I've got no comments. You guys make the calls, you guys have paid the big bucks, but, you know, just give it back from the Horde for once, you know?
Yeah, well, no backman. They're not the guys that capture the attention, guys.
That's what the Golden Fist is for. We'll track back Blake Panderescott into the rooms to sing the song. Some more around the grounds as we get towards full-time in round 17, the penultimate round. The siren has sounded at Myrtleford. At Wodonga, and Myrtleford have held on 107-87. That's a gutsy win from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in that encounter there. Lavington and Corowa, 24 minutes gone. I reckon the siren has just sounded as Jack Fegan has kicked a goal. So Lavington are going to hold on against the Roos. Aubrey are going to hang on against the Raiders. And, of course, the win to the Rovers is going to be enough to get them across the line this afternoon. Blake Panderescott making his way into the Rovers' rooms. They're going to sing the song loud and proud here on O&M Live. They've held on in one of the uglier games of footy we've seen for a very, very long time. Well, we've lost you, Pandy.
Expeditions on and off. Oh, we take the field of grid, I take the opponents overseas. Hey, take the river, ranks and break. Now take the ring. Oh, wait, gotta grow this. We gotta take it all the else feet. Let's go. Oh, wait, gotta grow this. Premierships are going again this year.
The Rovers salute on O&M Live. We'll take a break and catch up with Rovers coach Sam Murray on the other side of the break. You're with O&M Live, where you won't miss it.
SS&A, this is your place.
All right. I love you. Have a good shift.
The all-new Nissan Navara, built for the grid shift.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Explore where your new home begins. Discover our designs. Discover local land. Discover what's possible. Visit Sundancer Homes' new sales centre and showroom at 482 Kiowa Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.